Amen. Hallelujah. Read forever. Amen. I just want us to lift up our voices this morning and begin to thank God for another opportunity to gather, to learn, and even to bless His name. Open your mouth for the privilege God has given you to be a part of today's meeting. I want you to thank God for His kindness, for granting you such opportunity and access to such information. If you really think about it, you know that information is what makes, people thrive in life. And this information that has been given to you, or the access to this information given to you, is not just one of those regular ones. So I want you to thank God for the opportunity, for the access to such information that God has given, such that you can thrive in life. I want you to open your mouth that today's meeting is going to be a very significant one in your life. It will be the beginning of a transformational time for you. It will bring about, a true change and true growth in your life. Please open your mouth and begin to thank God. Father, we thank you once again for another opportunity. We thank you for, access to information. Thank you for access to opportunities. And we thank you for what you're going to do even through this meeting today. We say your name be forever exalted in the name of Jesus. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Very briefly, I also want us to commit our guest speaker, Judith Audu, into God's hand, that everything she'll be teaching us today, whatever thing she's going to be, every information and knowledge she'll be passing to us today, would stay with us and bring about true change. We're not just going to be one of those who heard and then just heard for the fun of marking register. I don't know if we're still together. Do we have one house? We're praying, right? All right. So I just want you to talk to God and tell God that this meeting will be a significant one in your life. It won't be one of those trainings or workshops that you attended and you just attended to mark register. It will bring about true growth, true impact, true significance. You will look back to this day and look back in gratitude. Prayer in the name of Jesus. Father, Lord, we thank you once again, oh God, and we commit your daughter, our facilitator, onto your hands, that whatever that will be coming from her today, whatever knowledge, oh God, will bring about true change and impact in our lives. It won't be one of those, passing by moments. It will be a significant one in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Spirit of the living God, for in Jesus' mighty name we pray. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Please put your hands together for Jesus. Let's have our seats, please.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so we're going straight into the program proper, and as it is, and as we shared before now, it's a masterclass program, and we're going to be having a great time trying to demystify things about filmmaking, what it involves, how to go around it, and there are whole lots of different scenarios around that. And most importantly, we are having one of the best in the field, one of the best when it comes to film production. So we're actually privileged that we're having her take this session with us. But I just want to ask a random question. How many of us... So just to ask a random question, how many of us are filmmaker here? Okay, how many? We have 1, 2, who else? Okay. So, but when we say filmmaker or filmmaking, it's actually broad as well, right? So, for you as a filmmaker, what area about filmmaking? Let me put you on the spot.
Okay, my name is Isaiah L. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm a director, scriptwriter, editor. Editor.
Fantastic. Please, can you give me a round of applause? Let me put someone else on the spot, sir. So when you say filmmaking, what area?
Good Good morning. I produce, I direct, I write. Direct, I write, and I act.
Fantastic. So it's can you give me a round of applause? So it's different areas. He produces, he writes, he acts. So he stays behind the camera, also stay in front of the camera. Okay, so there are different areas, and I need a lot of us are, as the session was saying, aspiring. Oh yes, aspiring. So this master class it's open to everybody, irrespective of the residual knowledge that you have before now. So sometimes it might just be interests. It might just be that you have interest about this. And most importantly is that let's maximize the opportunity. It's not every time that we have someone like this helping us to take this session. And so it's important that we all get to maximize it. We all get to just, take it because it's a master class. So we have an uninterrupted about 3 hours, for the whole master class. So please be. I would like to invite Pastor Femi to.
Oh, I also understand that, one of the reasons why we made this class compulsory for all of you guys is because a lot of what you do is related to what she's going to talk about. Some of you are makeup artists, some of you are content creators, some of you are cinematographers, some of you are photographers, and all of these are embedded in film production. You have costume, you have makeup, you have stills photography, you have the actual cinematography itself. You have a lot. In fact, the business aspect also in producing is also involved. So it's a knowledge that you'll be able to tap from. So you can ask relevant questions that maybe bothers. If you're a content creator, you can ask more of questions along that line. If you're a makeup artist, you can ask more questions along the line of a makeup artist. You can ask questions along the line of a cinematographer or a photographer, whatever the case may be. So at this point, AY, could we bring our guests forward? Yes. Does anyone have a question? And please don't leave before the training ends. The attendance will be taken after the training. So if your people are not around, you better call them. I'm sure you understand the importance of what I just said. So if your friends are not around, you better start messaging them. If their name is not on that attendance, by the end of the day, it has consequences. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Okay. Can you help me tell them that you can bring her now? Yeah. Yes. So please, you can ask questions either if she permits during the training. If not, then there's a 30 minutes after each session. We're going to have 2 sessions. After the first session, there'll be a short break. And then there'll be 1 or 2 activities before the second session. Okay. So let me share a little experience of, I think, my first interaction with our guests. It was on a movie set. I think the title was, what was even the title again? Yes, I don't. I can't forget. Yes, we actually did 2 movies back to back, and she was one of the cast. Then she used to act a lot, about 10 years ago or so. And she was actually one of the few people that actually featured in both movies. So we shot the first part in Nigeria, and we shot the second part in Sierra Leone. And she went with us for both expenditure. We had other casts such as Yemi Black, such as Van Vika, Wumi Dada, Joshua. We had the likes of Ifeoma Jenobo, quite a number of them, about up to like about 12 A-list actors then in the two movies. And it was a fantastic experience we had. That was my first interaction with her. And she's a professional to the core. Even when it comes to acting, she's damn amazing. You know, I still remember some of the pictures that we shot, you know, in Sierra Leone. Because I was a producer, and then I also did some of the cinematography a bit with A.K. Mini, who was the DOP then. And also, Besto Kodwa was the director of that movie. You know, so it was a very interesting experience we had. And, you know, when it comes to character also, she stands out among the peers. You see all kinds of people. You know, I mean, when you're in the movie industry, you work with all kinds of people, both the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, she's one of the good, because I've seen a lot of even bad. You know, despite the fact that the project was initiated by a pastor. We still saw some not too good sides at the end of the day, but it was an interesting experience because we work with people that are professionals and, you know, are experts in what they do. For example, some of the sound engineer that worked with us then is currently in Italy now. The makeup and special effects person, she's in the UK now. She's a very fantastic, in fact, she doesn't even do movies much. Only maybe special effects once in a while, but she focuses more on you know, commercial and editorial makeup. But she worked with us on that project. We also have a veteran costumier too, who also worked with us. I mean, just basically talented people who don't necessarily work in the movie industry core, but they are experts in their field. Those are the people we assembled for that movie. And then we did an audition for about 3 days, you know, picking actors and all of that. You know, some of the A-listed ones, we interviewed them separately. And then I remember, I don't know if you know Wumi Dada, right? Yeah, she was not a known actor then. She was just like every other person. She came through the audition, just like every other person. And, you know, she stood out, you know, during the audition. And that's how we picked her. And there's another guy too called Joshua. I don't know if I can't remember his surname, but he's chubby like this. Huh? Yes, chubby. He was also selected too from that process, you know, and it was an interesting encounter. You know, we also had Stanize too. You know, Nancy Sime too was there too. I remember we used to eat a bar together. And she's very, very humble. I mean, very beautiful and very humble. And down to earth. You know, so she's ready to come. Please, with a standing ovation, let's welcome our guest speaker, a veteran producer and actor, Judith Audu. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, hi. Please be seated. Femi, thank you for that. I'm going to cast Femi a little bit. We didn't get any of the awesome pictures we took on that film set.
Okay, I promise I will send you some. I will look for the archive and send them to you.
Oh no, you actually lost your laptop in Sierra Leone. We were happy he lost that laptop, Sha. Let me tell you the truth. Because we're begging him to send us pictures. Like, we had awesome pictures. And Femi is like, no, when the film is done, we'll send you the pictures. We'll not see pictures last. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be a very interactive. Can we take this out? This is going to be as interactive as possible. I would need us to ask a lot of questions and to have a lot of back and forth as we go, so that the entire time we spend together would not be wasted. because we are crunching a course people do for like 4 years, and we're trying to run through it in a few hours. So ask as many questions as you can, and there is nothing like a stupid question. Anything that comes to your head, please ask. If I'm going too fast, stop me, and then let's talk. So again, good morning. My name is Judith Audu. I am excited to be here to take you through the art of filmmaking, producing to be specific. How has the training been so far? Fantastic, fantastic. So you're going to add today into your awesome cap. Are we going to project, or we should just start? All right. Has anybody here shot a film before? Awesome. On your phone, on a camera, both. Great. So every other person here, do you want to be filmmakers? Do you want to be actors? Ah, so we have more actors, yeah? Okay, so what's your core? Cinematography, producing, directing. Ah, I see my big brother here. What are you doing here? That was a superstar sitting down there. He knows himself. It's nice to see you here. Thank you. He's an awesome friend, a professional to the core. So nice to see you here. He probably would come help us in some acting things if we get to that point. So why I wanted to know what exactly your core is, it's so that we know how we're going to position the course of our training. So I'm going to start with producing first. Does anybody know what exactly it entails to be a producer?
Good day. This is not our first time.
So let us know what does it mean to produce?
Okay, to produce a movie, it begins with a story. There has to be a story ready. Then that's getting the finance and getting the crew.
That's a long thing. What does it mean for you to produce something? It's
Okay.
simple, don't
To
complicate
produce
it.
something is actually to get something from a concept to a finished product and
That's
to
all.
a market.
That's actually all. So it's how you take something from nothing, from start to finish. That's actually what producing is. But what does a producer do, and how does a producer now take this thing that is just an idea and run with it and take it from that stage to the final stage? That's what a producer does. So there are 5 major stages in filmmaking. We're going to run through those 5 major stages. But each time we're at a point, just stop me and ask questions. Does anybody know the 5 stages of filmmaking? You guys don't for my hand. One person should try. Does anybody know the 5 stages? There are 5 main. No, not you again. No, you. No, you. Another person. Does anybody know the 5 stages of filmmaking?
Yeah, my name is Tomiwa. The major 5 stages we have in filmmaking. Number 1, we have the executive producer.
No. Those are the credits. Those are the roles. Don't be shy. Nobody is going to. It's not an exam.
Okay. My name is Ade Dolapo. We have the pre-production. We have the screenplay. We have the production, and we have the post-production. I think that's all I know.
The remaining 1.
Marketing or distribution.
Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you. So there are 5 major stages in filmmaking. The first is called the development stage. The second is called the pre-production stage. The third is called the production. That's where you have the principal photography. The fourth is called the post-production, and then the last one is called the distribution stage. So these 5 steps, you can't jump any. So no matter what you're filming, even though you are shooting on your phone, even though you're doing a skit, whatever it is, whether it's a 500K job or a 1 billion naira job, this process are essential. What makes the difference is just the skill, how you put money into it and stuff, but the process is the process. And if you follow the process, you would have, a really good content at the end of the day. So let's start with the development stage. That's the one he said story. But before the story comes, you need to have the idea. And we have what he described as the executive producer. The executive producer is usually the one that brings the money, sometimes bring the idea. There are 2 types of executive producers. There's the creative one, and then there's the one that's just an investor. So the one that is just an investor, guys, if you are confused, please ask questions. The one that is just an investor is the one that, take for instance, I am a producer, I have an idea, I have a concept, but I don't have money. And then I approach Big Boss Femi, he has money. And then I approach him, and I'm like, I have this film that I want to do, can you give me money? And he gives me money to do the film, but he's not part of the process of the film. His own is just, I'm giving you this money, at the X amount of time that we have agreed, you will return my money back with interest. So he's an investment executive producer that has no creative input in the film. He's just giving me the money to make the film and return his money back. Then there is the executive producer that is a creative person. Take, for instance, Audu, Kule Afolayan, Judith. So those are executive producers that are creatives in blocked. They are creatives too. So they are the ones employing you to come bring their idea to life. So in that way, they are the ones with the idea. And then what they do is they will then employ a producer. Sometimes this process may come after. This process may come after when they employ the writer. Most times the writer actually comes on the project first. And the executive producer will then tell the writer, this is my idea, I want you to make this, bring this story to life. So the writer will then organize what we call a script workshop. This would be funded, of course, by the executive producer, but the writer would invite like his friends or other people that are of like minds to come develop this story. It is important if you actually do have a producer at this point, because during the script workshops, writers can become mad. They can just start writing things, how somebody is staying on Mars, how somebody went to space. Money, they are not thinking of the money implication of that. Their own is just, they're just writing. So when you have a producer there, and the executive producer would have said, this is the budget for the entire film, the producer can then be, bringing people back to earth and say, you guys, we don't have that kind of budget. How else can we tell the story that we are not losing the essence of the story, but we do this? But it's always better to write big and then cut it down than to write small, because when you write small, most times you can't actually then blow it up. So it's always better to blow it up and then you cut it down, to what your budget is, because at the end of the day, your budget is your budget. If you don't have the money, you can't do what you can do, So during that process, we call it a script workshop or a script conference, these ideas are formed. So they will be back and forth. Sometimes people fight, but it's for the better of, the good of the project. You may bring up an idea and then someone will say, oh no, your idea doesn't make sense. And then everybody just do it back and forth. But then what that does for you, it helps ask the questions the audience would ask. So maybe somebody will just say, bring this woman here. And then another person will say, but how did she get there? How did she get money to get there? And then you now go back to your drawing board and figure out, okay, how will she get the money to get there? So that's the back and forth that happened in the script workshop. The number of days you spend in the script workshop depends on your pockets. It may be a day, it may be 2 days, it may be a week, it may be a weekend, it may be months, it may be years. It all depends on how much you have, because you're going to accommodate these people and you're going to feed them. And you're going to pay them for the story development. Because the people that are in the story development, it's not all of them that write the scripts. It's eventually like one person that may write the script, or two people, depending. If it's a film or if it's a series, they may write per episode. You will have a head writer that would write the beginning and the end, and then every other person would pick in between. So what the script workshop also does, at the end of the script workshop, you would have what we call an outline and a treatment. So the outline essentially is like a breakdown of the entire film. If it's a film, the entire scenes, from scene 1 to the end, you would have the breakdown. If it's a TV series, you would have episode 1 to whatever, how many episodes you're doing, and then you have the entire scene breakdown in that workshop. And then you would also now have your character breakdown. So say you have 5 major characters. All these characters, you now have to break them down. What's her name? Where is she from? How does she talk? How does she dress? How does she look? All this will be broken down, and you have all your character descriptions. You have all that done in that period of time. It's the reason why you can have writers writing a script and they probably have not met themselves, or they are not in the same place. But when you read the script, you can't tell that it's different people that wrote it. It's only when you are looking at the end credits you realize, oh, this person that wrote episode 1 is this person that wrote episode 2. But you can't tell, because the actors are speaking the same way. There is that flow, and that's what the outline does. So at the end of the day, you would have the script outline, the story outline that everybody will be given, and then everybody will go back home, and they will then decide when they're going to have a first draft of the script. So when the first draft of the script comes, that's the first thing you see after your story workshop. So everybody have now gone to write, or whoever the writer is, and then you have your first draft come in, and then everybody will read it again and give their notes, give their corrections for it, and then you go back and rewrite. Sometimes the first draft may go a totally different direction from what you guys have discussed, and then they have to either rewrite it or, write a new draft for it. So depending on how fast the correction comes, you may have a lot of drafts, But is anybody aspiring to be a writer here, or is anybody a writer here? So what you do so that you don't get into a project that you are writing for life and they are not paying you plenty money, when you are signing your contract, indicate how many amount of drafts you are going to write. Very important. So that when they are giving correction, they have to give the correction well. If they then now exceed the amount of drafts you guys have agreed on, you now have to renegotiate if there are going to be new drafts. But it's important that you tell them, this is the amount of drafts I'm going to write, because that also helps everybody be on their feet, and do the corrections they need to do at once and all that, and give a very comprehensive edit when they're sending an edit. It helps everybody when there's a timeline to stuff. So after that, the good thing about that is your development stage and your pre-production stage can actually work simultaneously. So the minute you're done with that, with your outline, your producer can now draft what we call a first tentative budget. Because you already have the breakdown of everything, so they can see how many locations you have, how many actors you have. So with that, a tentative budget can then be drafted, and key crew can then be employed. So since we have some people that have shot something, can we try and list who key crew are in the film set? Who the major HODs are? So the director of photography, the producer, the art director, the production manager, the costume designer, the hair and makeup. No, that's not a thing. No, the scriptwriter is not an HOD. The scriptwriter has already done their job. So the HODs are the people that are on set to make sure this production comes to life. There are like 3 major people left. The script supervisor, also known as continuity. The sound. The editor is an HOD, but the editor comes in play in post-production. But yes, you would have actually already employed the editor at this stage, but it's just that he's not an HOD in this sense yet. But if you are shooting a film and you want the film to come out like almost immediately, you would already have like an offline editor on set that is actually editing as you're filming. So yes, that works sometimes. 2 more. We already have that.
The gaffer man.
The gaffer. The remaining one major one. The grip. Yeah. So we have the producer, the director of photography, the art director, also known as the production designer sometimes. They are technically 2 different things, but down here we put them together. So the costume designer, the gaffer, the grip, the hair and makeup. Sometimes we break it, but that's entire creative department is supposed to be under the production designer, but we don't do that here, so we break it here. The gaffers are the light designers. They are the ones in charge of lights. We call them gaffers. And then the grip. And the script supervisor. And the assistant director. That's one of the most important departments on the film set. If you don't have a very good AD, your film or your series is going to run over. The AD are the most important after the producer on a film set. Who else have we not called? The sound recordist. What did he say? Translator. They're not HODs, and they're not always on set every time. They only come on set if you are doing maybe like a language thing that you need a translator on sets and stuff. But they are very essential if you are doing a language film, so they can guide the actors to make sure the actors are speaking the right languages. Who else? I think we're done without the major ones though. There's also the DIT. The DIT comes from the editor. They are the data wranglers. So they are the ones that copy your data every day while you're filming to make sure you have done everything that you want to do. So now with these HODs, after our script workshop, who do you think, in your opinion, is the first person the producer is going to employ?
The DOP.
The director. So the director is the first person that is usually employed after the producer. Sometimes the executive producer gets the director on board before the producer, but the producer is supposed to come on board before the director. Because the director is the one that would then now, the entire creative decisions, comes from the director. That's why usually a film is usually by the director. So if you've done a film before, the film is going to a film festival, it's not you, the producer, they are inviting, it's the director they are inviting. So it's you that have gone to look for the money, it's you that have sourced for the funding, it's you that have employed everybody, including the director, but it's not you they will invite, it's the director they will invite. So you go and look for money and take yourself down there, but they will invite the director, fly him down, give him accommodation. That's how important the director is. So you have to make sure you're employing a director that understands your vision. So your job is to make sure you give him everything he needs to bring that to life the best way possible. So now that we have the director, who do you think will be the second most important person to employ? Not necessarily. The producer is already there. The production designer. The art director is the one that builds the entire world in the project. So the art director, when you've gotten your director, you need to get the art director so that he can then look through everything you want to do and start creating what we call a mood board or a lookbook. The director would also create his own lookbook or mood board, however you want to call it. So what this does is it helps you as a producer know if the director is in line with what you want to do. Sometimes you can actually then fire the director and employ someone that you believe would understand what you want to do. So that process is what will get you to make him know that this is what we want to do, this is how I want to do it, and then he'll have a conversation with the producer. If the executive producer is a creative executive producer, with the executive producer, then everybody would then align on the vision and know that, yes, this is how the actor would dress, this is how the actor would look, this is how the location would feel like. So all these conversations will be had with these key heads at the time. And the director of photography is the one that helps with the look and feel of the film and says how the film color would be, essentially. That department, it's always important to make sure you employ somebody that is in sync with your director, because those two people are going to be like a couple on your set. So it's like a husband and wife. If you now go and employ a director of photography that's him and the director are not aligned, there'll be a problem and there'll be a friction on your set. And that would eventually destroy your entire process. So you have to have a conversation with the director. If maybe there's a DOP he likes to work with, or if there's a DOP you want to work with, and then you put it to him, and then he'll see if, yes, maybe it's someone I would like to work with, maybe it's someone I've been looking forward to working with, and then they would have conversations, share references. All this process is happening in the pre-production stage. By now, you already have a tentative schedule. By now, you've already employed the director. You've employed the art director. You've employed the director of photography. You've employed the costume designer, because the costume designer would have already started looking at, the entire thing. You have also started casting for your actors. So sometimes we employ what we call a casting director. This is if you have the funding. We employ what we call a casting director, so you don't have the headache of doing an open audition or, looking for actors. So the casting director will be the one to have the headache to sift and cast actors for you, and then send you maybe like 5 options from the pool they have. So you now do what we call a closed casting to now pick the person or the people that would eventually act this thing. So if you remember the last time, people that wanted to be actors, if you were here for the conference, I had said you should go to Instagram and look for people that are casting directors and follow them. Because on their pages, they always post audition notice, so that you can then see when audition notices are pasted, and then you can apply for them, because there's a lot going on in Nollywood and there are jobs. Do you get? But people don't want to go through the audition process. They want direct job. And to be honest with you, nobody would employ you if they've not seen anything you've done. It's their money, it's investments. Why on earth would I invest in you when I have not seen you act? So I need to see something. And in seeing something is what audition does. Because in auditioning, I can see you and say, oh, wow, this person is very raw, he's very good, If director brush him up, he'll be good. But if you don't come for the audition and you are waiting for somebody to recommend you and refer you, maybe, oh, I know Judith Audu, just talk to her, she'll give you a role. I can't give you a strong role. I can probably just give you a role that's, maybe it's not that relevant in it, because it is somebody's money I'm putting into use. I'm not going to burn it, unless it is your money. Do you get? So if you are the one that gives me the money to shoot the film and you want to play the lead role, why not? What's my business? I will give it to you. If you spoil your own film, it's your money anyway. You get me? But you need to understand that going through the audition processes is also like a free film school for you. Because you get to train yourself every single time you're auditioning for something, and you become better each time you audition. So if you are lucky enough to be auditioning in front of a casting director or a director or a producer, some of them may be nice enough to point out the things you are doing wrong. So the next time you are doing it, it will be better. Do you understand? So don't shy away from auditions. No matter how big you become as an actor, you will still be doing close castings. You will still be doing close castings, no matter who you eventually become. It's just that you'll not be doing open auditions again, but you will still be doing close castings. So don't shy away from it at all. So casting is already going on at this point. When they go through the first stage, sometimes the open audition. These days, you don't really need to do a big open audition anymore. You can just ask people to send in monologues, and then from there, you can then cut down and send them messages and invite them for closed casting. And then from there, you then now do what we call a chemistry test. So a chemistry test is something that if I'm going to be your wife, or if I'm going to be your mother, or if I'm going to be your sister or your best friend, the producers or the casting director or the director need to be sure that there will be that chemistry between us. So if you see all these processes I'm talking about, you will know when you watch a film that jumped a process. So if you are doing a film where these people are best friends and you are looking at them, you are watching them, and there's no chemistry. They are talking, but they are not talking. They are like people that have not seen themselves since. But you are telling me that these people have been childhood friends. Do you understand? We know how we talk to our friends. So when you are watching people that you can tell that they are not friends, there's a problem. If you are watching a film or a TV series and you can tell that somebody is acting, there's a problem. It needs to be so fluid, actually husband and wife. That's when the actors have done their job and the casting directors have also done their jobs, you know, in casting the right people for the right things. So these processes are very important. Jesus, I'm so cold. I think we should off this one and this one. Thank you so much. Yeah, fantastic. Give it to them. Thanks, guys. I'm almost. Sorry. I'm almost done into stockfish. So far, how are we doing? Are you sure? Because I can see confused faces, so please always ask questions so you can stop me and just raise up your hands and ask questions. Please. This is supposed to be very, very interactive. Please. So where are we? We're in the casting stage. So at this point, we have now casted our actors. After we are done casting our actors, what do you think will be the next stage that we'll need to do with the actors? You can move to the next slide, the next one. We've passed this development stage now. Yeah, so this is where we are. Thank you. Oh, I thought it was going to show in the big one. They can't see it now. Can you guys see it? It's quite tiny. Anyway, so can we guess what we think will be the next stage after we have now employed our actors?
Okay, I'm guessing we shared the scripts with them.
Yes.
There's another stage after that.
After you share the script, what else?
Do they have rehearsals or do you just go?
Well, yeah, rehearsals comes if it's sometimes you have some things that are very character driven. Maybe if it's a dance film, if it's a music film, if it's an action film, they have to rehearse. They have to do stunt rehearsals. They have to do dance rehearsals. They have to do all these things. So depending on the kind of film we are doing, sometimes rehearsals are very, 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 very important for it. What else?
Talk about their pay. I don't know.
That's important now. That's like the cocoa of the whole matter. Before you say the person is employed, it means you have already negotiated and the person has already signed a contract. So sometimes before they sign contracts, even if you want to employ your crew members, There is something we call an NDA. It's a non-disclosure document that you send to people. So I hope you can decipher when I'm talking about a big project and a small project. So it's not all the projects that go through this process. So NDAs are for, like, if I'm doing something that is really big and I don't want people to know about it, it's supposed to be a secret, and I'm sending you an NDA to read, to sign, and that NDA would let you know that it is not an automatic employment. You may read the script and not want the job, or we may negotiate and we may not agree on a fee. That way you will not be part of the job, but you cannot speak about the job. I can sue you if you speak about the job until the job is out, if you still need to speak about it. So that's what the NDA does. So at this point, you would have negotiated with the actors, and you are sure that this is the actor you want to use. Some actors will tell you, I want to read the script first before I negotiate, so that you will not now go and negotiate with the producer, and then they'll tell you, don't worry, it's a very easy film, you're not doing anything, you're just on set, it's drama, you know, nothing will happen. And then they'll now send you script, you now see that, you are jumping 5-story building, you are running. Then maybe if you are somebody that don't like to do any sexual things in films, you don't like to kiss or have anything to do in that regard, and you had probably told them before, and they're like, don't worry, there's nothing like that, and then you now negotiate, and you now see the script, and you see that, this is not the thing that this person told me. Or they told you it's only one scene you have, it's not plenty scenes. You now negotiate small money. They will now send you script, you now see that you're in the beginning of the film, from the beginning till the end, and then you have already signed contracts. So it's always nice sometimes to ask to see the script. One or two things aside the monetary implication. Also, if it is something you identify with, there's some story you read that you just don't want to be a part of. It's not like it's bad or something, but maybe your spirit just tell you no. Do you get? The script may be really good, though. The team may be really good. But guys, I've come to learn that your instincts are your best friend in this industry. The minute your instincts say no, even if they're paying you 10 million naira, turn it down. But turn it down in a nice way. You can tell them, I'm busy, you know, maybe another commitment came up, just so that you don't burn that bridge and stuff. And then sometimes it may be negotiations. So because they cannot pay you in this one today, does not mean tomorrow they will not pay you well. So don't ever burn bridges. Always leave that avenue open, you know. And sign contracts, very important, sign contracts. So here's the thing about contracts. Even if you cannot afford a lawyer, if you are using like your best friend to do something, just have a gentleman agreement. It can be an email conversation, like, oh, I'm going to have you on set X amount of time, this is how much I'll pay you. And then the person can say, no, no worry, no pay me, it's fine, I'll do it for you. That's how they say. When the film now come out, it now blow up, you now don't give them anything. They'll now be like, you are very ungrateful. And I did it for you, and you did not, uncle. Perhaps you can ask me what I did for just to cover your transport, or is that agreement? You know, so it's not an oral conversation. And then after that, you have the costume designers that would now go and measure the actors and start making their costumes. Then sometimes, depending on the kind of project, the makeup person can also see their skin tone. As I say, depending on the kind of project. They can also go and see their skin tone and see if they need to, you know, get special products for them to glue on screen, stuff like that. You may have someone that you really want to use that is very good, but the person has like freckles on their face, so you would want to, you know, make them look good on screen, stuff like that. So at this point, we have now, so your costumier, don't forget your mood board. You have your art director sending, you have your production designer sending, you have your costume designer sending, you have your hair and makeup also sending. What this does is it makes everybody get on the same page and say, this is how Toyin is supposed to dress. So that it's not like we have all agreed now that Tony is going to dress like this. And when we get on set, in the scene where Tony was supposed to wear one rich auntie vibe thing, she'll now show up looking like a Gen Z. And everybody will be like, but this is not what we agreed. Do you get? So everybody has to be on the same page. The director and the producer needs to see the costume before shoot time. It's really nice if you can to fit the actors before shoot time. Do a cast reading before then. The cast reading also happens here. The cast reading is a very important process that we skip sometimes, but it's very important. Let me tell you what the cast reading does for you. It helps you see the chemistry between your entire cast. So I've been in some cast readings before where after the reading, we'll now realize that, we made a mistake. This is not the right person. You have to now recast, no matter how close it is to shoot. Yeah. Sometimes costume would have even already sewn costumes. But you would ask yourself, is it better we go along and use this actor that we can see is not right? Or we nip it in the bud now before we get on set? You know. So the cast reading is essential. The cast reading is where you read the entire script from the beginning to the end. In that room, you would have the script supervisor, you would have the assistant director, you would have, of course, the producer, you would have the executive producer, you would have all the actors, in this room, and then everybody will read the script so that if somebody is already giving themselves an accent and the director doesn't want that, or the person does something that is nice and everybody likes, people can say, oh, wow, maintain this is nice for your character. You know, stuff like that. All that will be seen during the cast reading. And the cast can also now see themselves and start familiarizing with themselves already, so that it is not on set, day one, that your actors are meeting themselves for the very first time in this life. No matter how much they try to act, there will be some awkwardness in it. So when they've met beforehand, when they get on set, everybody, the ginger is high. Everybody is ready to, to go, and the chemistry will be smooth. And when that happens, you would have a very smooth, shoot and stuff. And then at this time, you've also already employed your entire crew members. Your entire crew members would have been employed already at this point. You have your location scouting. That's also very important. By this time, you already actually have your locations, by the way. So you employ, sometimes, the person we called a location manager. So what a location manager does essentially is, a good location manager, you're supposed to actually send them the scripts. So they read the scripts and break down the locations, and they go source for the locations. So for location scouting, the first thing they do is scout for the locations. So in scouting for the location is them going to look for these places. And then they will send you, the producer and the director and the executive producer. They will send you, it's the producer they communicate to. The producer then communicates to the director and the executive producer. They will send you a video of the location. Say, I'm looking for a church. They will come here, and then they will do a video, and then they will send to me and say, does this work? If I say, no, it doesn't work, maybe, it's too close to the road, and then they will now go look for another one. When they have now sent me locations that I feel we have sufficiently enough, we will now go on what we call the location recce. So the first one is location scouting. It's done by just the location manager. The second one is the location recce. The location recce, you now have the team go with the location. From what we've been discussing so far, who do you think will be the most important person to be at a recce, aside the producer and the director? The art director? The sound department? The cinematographer, the DOP? Who else? The lights guy, the gaffer. Who else? Even as I said, the assistant director is one of the most important people. The AD, we call them the ADs. They are, so maybe I should explain what an assistant director is. People always think an assistant director means you are learning to be a director. No. An assistant director is a professional department in itself. Ideally, the AD does not actually aim to become a director. But down here in the past, they have structured it in a way whereby an assistant director is training to become a director. In Hollywood and most other places, your AD are like maybe military people and stuff, because these are the guys that run the set. So when the production departments have done their job in making sure everything is going to work on set, the AD is the one that runs the set. The AD is the one that makes sure the schedule on your daily schedule is done. It's the reason why when you are having plenty spillovers and things are not working, you fire the AD. The AD is actually the first person that gets fired on sets. Then when push comes to shove, they may fire the director. But the AD is the first person that gets fired because it is their job to make sure they meet the schedule. So if you have ever been on any set, it's the reason why ADs are always like they're on drugs. They are always, because that shout they are shouting is not from the tummy. The producer is on them. You know, so the producer is always on them like, why are we not shooting? What's happening? What are we shooting? Why are we? So the AD will now go on set and be like, let's go! And just start, you know, screaming at everybody. Because if they don't make their day, the producer is going to be on them. The executive producer is on the producer. The producer is on the AD. The AD is on the AD team. The AD team is on everybody. So we used to transfer a direction on a film set. So just pray to not be on the in front of the bullet when a bullet is coming. Because when somebody is angry, it's the first person they are seeing, they are putting it on. So normally on the first day, we always tell you, if you are light-hearted, please, filmmaking is not for you. Because when somebody is talking to you, you would think they hate you. They probably don't even know your name. But at that point in time, they just want to shoot. So sometimes, after that, in the evening, they can come and meet you and apologize and say, I'm sorry, you know, and stuff. They may not even remember sometimes that they shouted at you. So if you now go and carry it in your mind, you're just there wasting your time. Life is moving. So we always tell people that when you're on a film set, you need to take things light. Nobody hates you. When you come on set, we're all family at this particular point in time. Our job is to make sure we finish this project. The minute we say bye-bye, I may not call you tomorrow to check up on you. I may not know your name. But while you are on my set, my job as a producer is to make sure you are okay. That's the reason why when you are sick on my set, it is my job to take you to the hospital. I will not say go home and go and treat yourself. No, because it was on my set you were in when you fell sick. So I have to treat you. That's the reason why when you come on set and you are frowning, and maybe I know you to be a very jovial person, it is my job to find out what's wrong. Is there a problem? Because if you are now frowning today, it means my job will not go well. So I need to make sure you are happy. So I can then ask you, is it that the food they give you is not good? Do you want something else? If you now tell me, yes, I want shawarma, I will say, okay, it's fine. I will call somebody, please go and get the director shawarma, or go and get the DOP shawarma. Just because I need everybody in their good state of mind when they are on set. The minute it will wrap, that's it. You get me? So it is your job. Does anybody want to be a producer here? Wow. Only one person. Wow. You are scared of work. So you don't want stress. So in your opinion, you think the director doesn't stress? Do you know the job the director does? Director's head is always on fire. If the film does not come out well, who do people remember? They don't even know who produced it. It's the director and the actors they are seeing. They will be insulting. Now, wow, which kind of mumu people be this? Who directs this film? And the writer who writes this film. They don't used to remember who produced this film. So, my dear, the thing you are running away from, the other one you are running to, that's where the problem is. Essentially, what you do with a film or TV series, it's a collaborative effort. Every single team member works together as one unit to make it work. That's why I say when you get on set, you become a family. That is the reason why when a film does well, even somebody that was a PA or somebody that just came to do flash, I can't even say waka pass because maybe the person is only the person's clothes that show inside the film. The person will say, I was in that film because it was successful. But the minute the film is not successful, everybody would disassociate. Even the director would say, I don't want my name on that project. So it's a collaborative effort. It's teamwork. So everybody works together to make it good. So there is no department that is not important. Every single department is very, very essential. It's the reason why you have to employ people that have sense. Don't be the most intelligent person on your set. It's not a good idea. In fact, be the least intelligent person on your set. Let the other people be experienced and let them tell you, make decisions together. There's nothing wrong in saying, I don't know. Nobody knows everything. Even Spielberg or Tarantino. Everybody is still learning till we die. So if you don't know something, you ask a question. You can ask, like maybe you can be doing something and it's a makeup artist that will say, if you frame it like this, it'll be nice. But it's just in the way they say it, conversations like that are usually between the director, unless the director throws it open. Sometimes they do. And then, after we go on what we call the location recce, the last one is called the technical recce. That is, if during the location recce, you like all the places you saw. Because you may find a very beautiful location that is perfect to what you want to do, but then you realize there is a church by the side of the building, there is a school by the side, there is a mosque behind it. You are gone. You can't shoot. And then, to make it worse, it's now in front of the road. So unless the place is soundproof, you can't shoot. Your sound is going to be bad. So you're going to pump in money into that place, but you won't have good sound. So it means you have to end up doing what we call an ADR, and we don't do that well here. It's the reason why you are watching some of our films, really high-budget films, and you are looking at these people, but you are not connecting. Because they are talking, somebody's mother just died, and they are at the graveyard, and they are crying, but you are just looking. You are not sure, am I supposed to cry with this person? Am I supposed to feel this person? Because you are not relating to what that person is doing. So it's not like the person is not acting. The person can be giving Oscar performance, but the audio is not, the mood, the sound design is not working well for you. And that's why you are watching a Korean film or an Indian film, and you are crying like an idiot. And you are asking yourself, Jesus, why am I crying? Why am I crying? Because you know these people are acting, but you are crying. You are trying to, because sometimes it's embarrassing. Maybe you are forming ad guy, and then tears will just be flowing. But you don't want the tears to flow, but the tears is flowing because unconsciously, your body is telling you, feel for this person. And you are feeling, you have that empathy. You are feeling for this character. You can't even control yourself. That's when they have done well in that, regard. So we'll then go for what we call the technical recce, when we've gotten everywhere. So remember the three, right? There's the scouting. The scouting is what? What's the scouting? Searching for the location. And then what's the recce? Going to check it out. So the technical recce, now, you have already now confirmed that you like that location. Sometimes you may even have already paid for the location. So what the technical recce is you are now going there as a unit, as if you are filming. So the director and the DOP are blocking. Do you know what blocking is? So blocking is when the director is saying where the actors are supposed to be for the scenes and how the DOP is supposed to frame them and shoot them. So when they go on this technical recce, the director and the DOP would now start having those conversations, and the assistant director. So the assistant director job also in the last recce is to make sure the locations are close in proximity. So say, for instance, I have drafted my schedule, and I'm going to have a wedding scene. And in the wedding scene, the couple are coming from a hotel to the church. And my fantastic scheduler has put the church on the island and the hotel on the mainland on a weekday. So when we go for the recce, that's when the AD will see that the hotel is here, the church is here, and then on the spot they'll be like, no, this cannot work, this cannot work. We have to look for a hotel that is close to the church or a church that is close to the hotel. Because else we'll be in traffic the whole day and we'll not make our day. And then the actors will be exhausted, the crew will be exhausted. So when we finally get to the location, we'll now start rushing. Meanwhile, they've spent money in decorating the hall. It's the reason why you watch some films and you can see that they've spent money, but you can't see the money. Because they were rushing to film, because they didn't have time, and this is the reason why. So technical recce, sometimes the art director would have already started painting, the art director would have already started decorating the room. So if it's a house that we need to paint the entire house, or we need to rebuild, or we need to bring in furniture, we need to do something differently, the art director would have probably done that. So when you go on that, your location recce, the location person will need to ask the owner of the houses, can we paint? Can we change the things in the house? Don't just go to somebody's house and start painting or hitting nail on the wall. You need to ask for permission. So sometimes they will say no. And then you will know that, okay, we have to go and look for another place. Sometimes they will say yes, but you have to take it back to how you saw it in the first place. So the minute you finish shooting, you have to repaint it back to how you saw it, So the technical recce is very essential for your shoot, so that when it's time for your shoot, also if you have like the grip guys. So the grip guys are the ones that do heavy lifting. I'm trying to see if there's any equipment around I can use as an example. So if you look behind you, you see the tripod, those lights are standing on. And then the tripod, the camera was standing on. So the grip guys are the ones that do all the heavy lifting on sets. They carry the tripod, they carry the cranes, and all these heavy things. So, and also the gaffers are the ones that do the lights and everything that has to do with the lights. So imagine if we're going to film in a place that is a 10-story building and the elevator is not working. So, and the grip person have already gone and employed somebody like my brother here. Or like me. And when he goes for the recce, he will now realize that, I need to employ people that are heavy duty so that they can be able to carry these things. Else, their department will be giving you downtime. And we usually call out departments that give downtime. When they give downtime, we'll call them out so that everybody will know that it's grip we are waiting for. They are the ones that is delaying us, so you'll be feeling ashamed that, it's my department, so you don't want your department to be the weak link. Everybody always wants their department to be the one, at the forefront. And then we have what we call the test shoot, but the test shoot is for productions that can afford it. So what a test shoot is you pick a scene, and then you get the actors on set, and you will shoot it the way you would have shot it. So that if there's anything you need to change, you would know beforehand. But not everybody does this. So if you are doing, say, a TV film or a YouTube film, you don't necessarily have to do the test shoots. All you just need to do is to make sure you get your actors on set maybe a day before, or you get them on sets earlier so that you guys can have conversations, you guys can talk about the characters. Your director should have already called them on the phone to have conversations with them before the day of shoot. And then we have, you see this pre-production stage is the most important stage in filmmaking. If you get this stage wrong, that's it. So this stage, sometimes people will spend years here, and then you will see them come and shoot for only 2 weeks, or shoot for 1 week, or shoot for 1 month, and you'll be wondering, how did your shoot go so smoothly? It's because they had a perfect pre-production. And then you have some that their pre-production will not be that perfect, but they are shooting for 6 months. But even with their 6 months, they have serious issues, and they have carryovers. They have plenty scenes that they can't wrap. It's because this stage wasn't done properly. So this is a stage you must not skip. You know, I can't go through everything in this stage because there are a lot in this stage. This stage, you would have already had your schedule. Your schedule would have already been drafted. A schedule is what tells you from day to day what you're going to film. Someone asked one day and said, do they shoot a film from scene 1 to the end? Like that, as in just shoot it like that. You shoot by locations. So you arrange your schedule by locations. Say you have a house, like 50% of your shoot, you have markets. So you put all the markets together, you put all the house together, you put everything together in the same way. So that way, it helps you film, smoothly. That's what the schedule does. And you can then confirm from your actor the dates on the schedule. So that if they are not available, you can try and see if you can make it work for them. Sometimes you may not be able to make it work. You will now have to tell them, man, I've tried maybe another film. So say you have a film that has an ensemble cast. An ensemble cast means all the characters are A-list or B-list, and then only one person is giving you a problem, and you have like 15 people that you've already locked their dates. You get to a point where you just be like, you know what, let's just leave this job and move, So the schedule helps you make those decisions. We can move to the next slide. So budgeting and all is already done there. Your budget would probably continue changing till your film is already on a streaming platform. But notwithstanding, that does not mean you will now under budget. So sometimes some people will see a script and the executive producer would ask them, how much do you think can do this script? And in their heart of hearts, they know that nothing less than 50 million naira will do the film. But because they don't want the executive producer to run away, they will now say, maybe I'll do it for 10 million naira. But they know 10 million will not be enough. So that one would have committed for 10 million. Every day they will now be saying, bring 5 naira, bring 10 naira, bring 5 naira. And trust will now become broken, So always make sure you budget right. And always make sure you carry your executive producer and your investors along. Communicate with them every single step of the way. This is what we're doing today. Oh, this person, we put 2 million naira for her, but she's saying 4 million naira. We don't have that in the budget. Sometimes the executive producer really wants that actor. They will now say, don't worry, I will give you the money for that person. Do you get? So carry them along with the process. Do you have anything to ask before we jump into the main shoot itself? Because that wasn't extensive enough. So if you have any questions, please, let's go. No, you guys have to ask questions. So.
Thank you very much. It was as if I was watching a movie. Okay, so my question is concerning the health part of it. Like, I know it has to do with location, though, and the scene. Like, you didn't talk about the first aid people or the ambulance, the emergency on ground, in case anything goes wrong. Like, what is the exit plan? Is there any space for that? Thank you.
That's a really good question, especially concerning the things that has been happening in Nollywood lately. Even though it has always been happening, but we just know now because of social media. So we always have someone on set called a medic. The medic is the one responsible for making sure everybody is feeling fine. So normally the medic would have gone, when I tell the medic I'm shooting here at College Road, the medic would have come by himself to check for hospitals around here, so that if there's an emergency, we know where we are rushing the person to immediately. So it's not like it's when something happens, we'll now start looking for where we're rushing the person to. No. That would have already been done. So on the call sheet, you actually have the medic contact on it. So if somebody is sick, somebody is down, they can call the medic, and then the medic will go see them. If we are filming a scene that is high risk is, did we all watch Shantytown? Okay, well, the people that watch Shantytown. So that's first scene where there was an explosion. We had fire service on standby. We had ambulance on standby. And then, of course, we had our medic on standby. So say something goes wrong, because those explosions were real pyrogenics. say something goes wrong, we need to quickly, attend to it immediately. So that's the right thing to do. Same thing when we did Blood Sisters. That house that got burnt in Makoko. When we built, so in Shantytown, we actually built the house we wanted to burn. We built the houses we wanted to burn. In Blood Sisters, we also built the house we wanted to burn. And because all the houses in Makoko are built with wood, for safety reasons, the house has a very long proximity with the other houses so that there is no way the fire would spread, to another house. But even at that, we had water airways, water service people on the boat. We had local water service people on the boat. We had ambulance on the boat. So that immediately director says, "Court," we are turning it down. Like, you're not risking it, So these are the important things. So it depends on the kind of film you're shooting. If you're shooting something that would require this kind of things, you need to have an ambulance. So people always, it's penny wise, pounds foolish. Some people will say, what if we don't use that? Let us not use it. But let us have it on standby. Is it not better than now rushing a dead body? Do you understand? So that is important. Depending on what you're filming, where you're filming, make sure if it's something that there may be casualties. Say, in Shantytown again, where the car flipped, or in the trade, where the car flipped, there was an ambulance on standby, in case. There was also fire service on standby, in case the car don't go and catch fire, and stuff. So all this is important depending on what exactly you're filming. Thank you, that was a really good question. Next question. Questions, guys, questions.
Good morning, everyone. My question is for someone who is a writer. You have been writing, previous works, but not, let's say, venturing into filmmaking and script writing. So my question is, you said some novels and blogs, articles, but then you want to venture into filmmaking, script writing, and you have taken some classes and you have practiced on some works. But here's my question. You said something about executive producers, the creative executive producers, which means they are contributing in like ideas. So my question is, there are times where there are writers who have ideas to produce a film. So what would you say, or how would you advise that writer to go about it in terms of writing the script, coming up with the idea first, and then also pitching it to somebody in film that can help with that?
You already answered your question. So you write the script, you pitch it, and you shoot it. So what you do is you look for like minds. Or you find money people. If it's like maybe your first film, it's usually family and friends that may want to invest in you, So you can then, I don't know if anybody saw Akunde. The person that wrote it, Tomi Odunsi, she is Tomi Adesina. She's also a novelist. That's like her first script, and it became really big. The one that Sof just worked on now that is also like really massive. They shot in, I think, like 4 countries. She wrote it too. So the thing is to find someone that trusts in you and wants to take that leap with you. And then the person can then now give you their money, especially if they like the story. They need to like the story. So if they like the story, sometimes they'll be the one to immediately ask you, how much do you need? Do you understand? So I think one of the greatest prayer to pray when in this field is to pray to meet your destiny helpers. And when you meet them, to also be ready. Because sometimes the opportunity comes, but you now not be ready. So that when you meet them, when they say, So maybe you're at an event and they're like, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm a playwright, but I have scripts that I want to make into films. And then the next question they ask is any ready? And none is ready. You know, on the spot, you could just be like, yes, it's ready. Do you want? And they'll be like, yeah, send it to me. Do you get? So just make sure they are ready, and things like that can happen. And also, try and be close to writers, good writers. You know, sometimes opportunity comes like that. So, like Xavier. Xavier is like one of my favorite right now. He's good, you know. So there are some people like that. There's also Dami Ebele, there is Kemi Adesoye. So there are a lot of writers that you can see which writers align with the kind of vision you have, and then follow them, and then tell them you would love to be in their writer's room. Very important. Tell them you would like to be in their writer's room. From being in a writer's room, you can start meeting other executive producers in those rooms that probably like the way you write, you know, and then doors can open like that. There is plenty road that leads to this market. There is no one road. So you just have to explore all of them until you find the one that leads to your own destination. Another question?
Okay. I have two questions. So the first one, I was going to ask, people that are part of your writer's room, do they get credits as, like, after the film is out, on the, like, story credits at the end of the movie? That's the first question. And then secondly, I wanted to ask about producers. What traits would you say is the most important for a producer? I ask this because sometimes it seems like it's project management. I don't know, it seems like people don't really actively learn how to produce, but after like maybe they've been on set twice, they're like, oh, I'm going to produce my own film. So what trait do you think is the most important?
Your second question is the reason why we have a lot of people running around calling themselves producers. So, am I echoing? I'm echoing in my ear. Sorry, guys. So the first question, when you are done in a writer's room, you get what we call story creator. So there are three major writing credits. There is story by. Story by is whoever created the story idea. Sometimes it may be the EP, sometimes it may be the writer, sometimes it may be the EP and the writer. So you have story by, and then you have story development or story creators. Sometimes you may also have story creators different from story developers. But people in the writer's room, they get the story development credit, all of them. Even the secretary, they all get that credit. And then you now get the script writer credits. Then if you have a script editor, you'll also now get the script editor credits. Because sometimes when you are done writing the entire script, you will give it to what we call a script editor to read through and correct like grammatical errors or strengthening some characters and just make sure everything works. That's called a script editor. So yes, you are getting credits. For the second one, project management, yes, is very essential for a producer because you are handling the entire project from scratch to finish, which is the same thing the project manager does. And for me, I think one of the most important skills for a producer is the spirit of calmness. You need to know how to be calm because there'll be a lot of chaos. But as a producer, everybody is looking to you and the director. So if you are not moved, everybody will be like, oh, okay, they have it figured out, so it's fine. So you need to be calm. Because if everything is falling apart and you are also falling apart, you will not find solution. So in that calmness, you can now be able to think clearly and strategize well, you know. So calmness, it's a very, 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 very essential quality, you know, trait. And be a nice person. Trust me, be a nice person. You can't pretend to be nice. When you are genuinely nice and you are on set and you see someone has fainted on your set, some people will walk off. We've seen that a lot of times. But when you are a nice person, It takes nothing. This is your team member that have just fainted. Do you understand? So that niceness sometimes gets reciprocated by the way the entire team will then now treat you and your project, because they will now also own the project like you. So it's not like you have paid them to be on a job, but this is our film. You know, so you are like the mother. Even though you are 5 years old, you are everybody's mother for that particular period of time. You know, so these qualities actually stand out. And be accountable. Be very accountable. Be very, very accountable. So if you are talking to somebody, they trust that if you say, give me 10 naira, they know that that 10 naira is for the project. It's not for you to go and buy a car. Do you understand? And that is one of the major problems we have in Nollywood. Somebody will give you 100 million naira to go and shoot a film. You now go and shoot it with 5 million naira. It will show. So be accountable, you know, and let people talk about you with integrity. Those skills, you can't buy them. You have to have them, you know, in you. For actors, it's actually charisma. You can't buy it. So it's the reason why you walk into a room as an actor. Somebody can already tell that this person has presence. I want someone that has presence on my screen. You know, if you don't have presence, there's a problem. You can't buy it. That's one of the things why Genevieve stands out. When Genevieve steps into this room now, whether there's makeup on her face or there's no makeup on her face, everybody's head will turn. It's that charisma. Boy, you can train yourself to have presence, you know, when you get into a room. All right, another question?
All right, morning. Morning, everyone. Okay, so my question is like this. I want to ask about body doubles and stuntman. Now, is it the same, like a body double, is it same as stuntman? And is it the actor that has to bring in the body double or the stuntman, or it's the producer or the director? Which one of them has to do the work, and how important are they?
Guys, I really love the kind of questions you're asking. Great job. So, the stunt doubles, it's the stunt coordinators that bring them. So when you have scenes that require stuntmen, like car flipping scenes, house burning scenes, jumping off a building, off a cliff scenes, these kind of scenes, you would not want to place your actors in harm's way because they are not professionals in that field. You would have already employed a stunt coordinator. The stunt coordinator will now ask you which actor is doing it. It is now their job to go and source for actors that look like your actors, that are stunt people that will do it. So the costume designer would have to make double costumes, one for the main actor, one for the stunt double. Whatever the stunt double is, the actor is wearing from head to toe, the stunt double would have to also wear them. You know, so it's the stunt coordinator that plans it, and they are extremely important if you are doing a very dangerous, you know, stunt on your set. Unless that actor is a stuntman. I don't know if anybody watched Extraction. So the producer is a stuntman. So that is his film to show that I can also produce and direct and stuff. So he's a stuntman, and he's the one that did all that, you know, things that happened. Another actor that does their stunts by themselves, Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan does all his stunts by himself. So when you are paying him, you're also paying him for all his body is insured. You know, you're also paying him for all these things. You know, I don't think there's any bone in his body that has not broken. You know, he does his own stunts. He derives joy from doing it. Tom Cruise also does his own stunts. You know, when he did his last one that he jumped, he did the highest jump with a bike off. They thought he had died. If you ever watch the BTS, all of them held their breath, waiting for him to come back up before they could scream, you know, and stuff. So it's a really dangerous activity. But people that have adrenaline rush, they love it. And that's what they do for a living. So it's very important if you have stunt things to do. Next question.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody. My first question is on location scouting. My name is Richard Precious. Location scouting, are those people, are they the ones that, just like once the script is given to them, they have to decide, you said they have to decide where those locations would be. If a scene requires them to go to Sierra Leone or outside the country, do they go there first to do, and who is in charge of their fare? Like, who is in charge of their transportations on how to get there?
Thank you. Does any of you follow Chude Jidowo? Did you watch a trailer he posted 2 days ago of a documentary? We shot it in 3 countries: Nigeria, UK, the US, and in 4 states: Lagos, Bayelsa, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. So what you do in this case as a producer, you hire what we call unit heads in these other places you are filming. So your unit head is the one that is producing on your behalf in these other countries. So your unit head would then now employ people in those places to source for things. So if you watch like Game of Thrones, any fantasy thing that they shot in a lot of different countries, if you finish, even normal Hollywood films, because all the films, they never shoot in one country. If you are watching the end credits, you will see they have B units in this country, units in this country. So that's what those people do. They will be the unit head in different places, and they will be the one to source for things there and send it to you, and then you share it with the director until you guys have arrived, at a place that you like. So the team would arrive there like maybe a day or 2 days before shoot, and then they will go physically see the places and be sure that the pictures they sent us and the place are the same. Yeah, so that's how that works. Then for scouting, ideally, you're supposed to actually give the location person transport money to use to scout. And you are supposed to tell the person the locations you want. So I can tell them, I'm shooting everything on the mainland, and give them the exact places, maybe Ikeja, maybe Ogba, maybe Surulere, depending on the feel I want for the film. I can say I want Ekpe, because I want somewhere that looks like Ibadan or Benin, but I can't afford to travel. I can go to Ekpe and shoot. Do you get? So your script usually determines a lot of what you need from the locations. That's your 2 questions, right? That's your question. Next.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you so much. What do you think about actors that, okay, I'm a costumier, so actors that you take their measurement and they go back to the gym? It just gives you a lot of stress. And you come back and you have to start from beginning. So what do you do in cases like that?
It's the reason why you have to fit before the shoot. So it's not just go to the gym, some will add weight. So it's the reason why you have to fit them before the shoot day, so that you can quickly amend what, needs to be amended. Then sometimes if it is that they can't come before then, you would have a conversation with the assistant director and say, I would need to fit this actor before time. Then most times what the costumier does is they bring machines, so that on the spot, you can adjust the clothes, or you get pin and use it to hold it. But you would have a conversation with the AD and the director, so that they will know that this is the angle we are shooting, so they don't go and shoot where there is pin, holding the clothes. So all these things are conversations, All right, next.
Hey, good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emeka. So what if an actor is given a role, a particular character in a movie, and it gets too emotional for the person to move on with the scene? Okay, let me put it in this way. An actor is given a role to, he lost his dad or something, and that past moments, those experiences, those feelings. It now seems like he's reliving that life again in the movie. You understand? So what is the best thing for the director to do? Is it that to cancel that scene, or to just talk to the help the actor, like help the actor channel that feeling, that feeling of the past to the movie? You understand? So that the person can express his or herself well in the movie. What do you think is?
What you just described is what some would call method acting, where you channel a trauma into your character. It is brilliant. But as an actor, you need to figure out how to get out of it. That's what makes you a brilliant actor. So normally, the director won't tone it. You can sit. The director won't tone it down. What he would do is, they probably would already know that this person is going to go to a very, very dark place. And that scene will now be like the last scene of the day. So that the minute you wrap, everybody can go take a breather. Or after that scene, you take a very long break. The actor takes a very long break and just take a breather. And then the actor will be the one to come back and tell them when he's ready to continue. So it is a skill. And as an actor, you shouldn't short it. If you can find how to go back to your trauma and use it to invoke performances, it is amazing. But you also need to know how to get out of it the minute you hear cuts. You know, that's what makes you stand out as an actor. You can also already have a conversation with the director and say, I will go to a very dark place. Most times it's the director that will even tell you, do you have a dark place to go? I need you to go there. Do you understand? So just have that conversation so everybody is in alignment of you are going somewhere, or you should not be scared, or, you know, because sometimes some people will then now start convulsing. Sometimes it's scary, you know, actually. But when we know that there's nothing to be scared about, we'll then now work with it. Next question.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I have two questions here. My name is Abayomi. Now, what makes a box office movie? What makes a box office movie? Then the second one is, how do you get cinema house companies to invest in a film? Because most of the box office film in Nigeria are sponsored by someone or company.
That's the discussion stage. We'll get there in a bit. But don't forget these questions you've asked. Don't forget these questions you've asked when we get to that stage. But ideally, if you want your film to go to the cinema, when you are in the script development stage, you should establish a conversation with a distributor. So you should know all the distributors already if you are producing, and start approaching them and tell them, this is what I want to do. I want to go to the cinema, or I want to go straight to streaming, you know, and they would advise on the best route to go. But we'll get to the box office in a bit. So I'll take 3 more, and then we'll go into principal photography.
You ask a question. Good afternoon. My name is Vincent. My question is about the script writing, actually. Like, for example, I'm a script writer. I write and I present to producers, you know. So there might be some case where producers said, after going through the story, and they might say they don't like the story or things like that. Then, maybe they actually like the story. So how can I be sure that my content is not being hijacked or something? What are the things that you can use to protect, you know, the content, things like that?
Copyright. Copyright your story. And again, I'll go back to what I said the first time. If you can't afford to get a lawyer to be in this process, send that script via email to this person. Send that script via email to this person so that you have proof when they eventually, because we've had situations where the people say the script is rubbish. And then next thing you see it in the box office. So send it by mail so you have a proof that this is actually my script. Do you get? So they have to pay you for it, and they have to give you credit for it. Even if they rewrote the script, you were the first writer. So your name is also supposed to still be there as a writer, and then the other person's name will also be there. So two of you will get the credits for writing. So just always have proof. If you can afford a lawyer, have a lawyer to sign something. If you can't, have an email thread. One more, and we go.
Okay, thank you very much. The question is, like, for scenes that require some intimate, before, let's say that you have an actor on your A list, and then you don't know, I don't know whether you do the medical screening before the casting, like the, oh, sorry, I don't know the terminologies. Before the cast, yes, I think the cast, before you now employ them. Like, do you do medical screening before? Because something can limit someone for a particular scene or a particular role or something. Like maybe hepatitis, HIV, and all that.
That's very important. So what I usually do most times is I usually have a mouthwash on set. So when people need to kiss, I have them use a mouthwash first. Because for that period of time, whatever germs you have is has been, killed for that period of time, Because like you said, I'm so happy you actually specifically said hepatitis, because that's the one and it's a killer. But we don't talk much about it. So I always make sure they do a gargle, they take the mouthwash, and before they go on, and make sure, they're both comfortable before they go on. There's something we had, the showrunners in MTV Sugar had on set, when we were on set. It's called an intimacy coach. Hollywood introduced it during COVID time. So we are beginning to have it gradually. So what they do is they make sure people are comfortable with these intimate scenes, and they work hand in hand with the director and the actors and have conversation to know what your limits are, so that nobody is being taken for granted, because sometimes when you say action, some people are not happy, but because they don't want to look like trouble people, they won't complain, and then they will not go behind and start crying. So to avoid that and make sure everybody is comfortable, we have that person guiding through the process. But of course, it's if you have money, you have that person. Else, the director and the producer will be the intimate coach that will talk through the process. Look for a safe word. What's the safe word to do? Maybe if the actress does her hand like this, it means please cut, and then you cut, things like that. So you just need to make sure your actors are comfortable and medically sound, so nobody catches a sickness while on your sets. So it's usually in the contract. It's in the contract to us, but Nigerians, people like, so it's in their contract to ask, do you have HIV? Do you have, different kind of illnesses, on the hepatitis B, asthma, ulcer, all these kind of things are usually there so that we can help. Because especially people with asthma and ulcer, they are very stubborn people. Very, very stubborn people. I don't know if anyone is here that is asthmatic and have ulcer. The things they are supposed to not be doing, that's what they do. Like, stubborn spirit that is in them is so strong. So when we know, we'll not be the one forcing them. Have you eaten today? They will say no. We'll be like, oh yeah, sit down, eat. You'll be treating them like a child. Oh yeah, eat. And then the one with asthma, somewhere is cold, you will see them, they wear spaghetti. Or they wear crop top. And then next thing, attack will come. And they are not with their inhaler. They are never with their inhaler. Never. So medic would now always have to, have an inhaler so that immediately there's an attack, We have all that. So these things usually come inside the contract for your medical history, and then who is your next of kin. So that if there's any problem, we know who is the family member we can call, immediately. Stuff like that. So we move? Should we move? You want to ask something before we move? Okay, we move. Sorry, guys, I am very strong, so bear with me. So we are in the fun part of shoot. No, go back to principal photography. We're in the fun part of shoot. This is what we call chaos. We call it organized chaos. So it is on this day, when you go to bed at night, you'll be praying that, God, please, let nothing go wrong. Because sometimes everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Actors will not show up. Equipment will not come on. Food will be stuck in traffic. Plenty things will just be happening. Meanwhile, you did your pre-production very well. It's not like you didn't do you did that very well. But on this day, things that are supposed to show up will just not show up. So when you sleep and wake up on this day, your prayer is, God, let everybody show up. And show up well. Yeah. Not just show up. Because you should have accommodated your crew already a day before. Sometimes you accommodate some of your cast a day before. Sometimes. And before this day, your gear team, or your technical team, would have gone to the equipment vendor's house to do what we call a gear check. So what a gear check means is they are checking every equipment that you are going to use and making sure they work. So that if there is a problem, they will flag it immediately and say, please, you guys need to change the camera. Or you guys need to change the tripod, or you guys need to change something. So on the spot, you can make those decisions. So that when you come here on this day, everything is working. So you see how everybody is there? Sometimes you can have over 100 people as your crew members. So essentially, the film set employs between 10 to 200 crew members, depending on the scale of the production. It's why we brag and call ourselves the highest number of employers of labor in the world. Because when a film set employs, on a big set, the least you have is 100 people. 100 humans will be on your set, working, getting paid, feeding, you're accommodating them for X period of time. You've empowered them, you've fed their family, you've given them their school fees. All that would happen here. Some essential things that happen here. This is a stage that I would love if you have questions to ask, because it's almost impossible to shoot what it means to film unless you are there on the set, interning on the set. But one of the most important things that you have to note is to do what we call your marketing shoot. So your marketing shoot is like your poster shoot. Because after this, you may not have access to the actors again. Sometimes from this set, they are entering another set. So while you have them, do every single thing you need with them. So that has to be in your schedule. That you have to do your poster shoot, so you would have communicated with your graphic designer, communicated the date, communicated with your costume and hair department on, the day you want to do the shoot. And then another very important crew member that we still have not gotten right, we actually have, but maybe we have like 4 or 5 of them that are good, is the behind the scene videographers and still photographers. That is one of the most important person on your set. Can anybody guess why? Can anybody guess why your behind the scene person is very important?
Because without them, we can't shoot the film.
Without that, you want what?
We can't shoot the film.
Why? Are they the executive producer, or are they the director, or the director of photography? No, that's not it. The only person you can't shoot without is your executive producer. Every other person you can fire and rehire. Why? Somebody else?
So I think they capture and preserve memories, one, and then there may be times where maybe continuity has lost track of something. BTS can be like the other option they can fall back to us to see something or to, go back. Maybe a continuity did not see something or they lost track of continuity on somebody or a costume or something. They can probably fall back on BTS and say, did you capture this moment? What was this person wearing an ETC? I don't know if...
You're on track, but I need a word. I'm looking for a word. Someone else try.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think they see beyond every other person because...
No. It's just one word, though.
Documentation. For documentation.
So you guys are getting it, but I need that word.
Memories, like they capture the memories.
He has already said memories now.
I think for security reasons.
Security reasons, that's the DIT. The DIT is the one that if the DIT doesn't capture your film, you have lost your film and you have to reshoot it. That's the one that the data wrangler. Somebody actually asked a question about it and I said he should hold on.
Okay, so I don't know, I might be wrong, but I just want to try. I feel like the BTS sort of create anticipation out there for people to know.
I need that word.
Anticipation. I don't know.
Okay, because you said somebody talked about it at the box office. Is it?
People don't know how to do expo. I need the word.
Fans engagement.
All right. It's publicity and marketing, guys. You see, everything I said is still in line, but that's the word. It's for publicity and marketing. I will use Shantytown as an example. After we finish shooting Shantytown, or even before or during, did you, by any means, see any posts of Shantytown? Did anybody see anything? During. Did anybody see anything? That's because you didn't see anything. We actually posted only one picture. Video, actually. It's a few seconds video. This video was Chidimokeme looking at the mirror and calling his character to order. That was the singular thing we posted about Shantytown, and Nollywood and Netflix streaming platforms went crazy and everybody wanted the film. And then you have some people that will post 1 million content, and the minute they post, your anticipation drops. Yeah, like, I'm not just saying I want to see this film. If this is the best they can post, then I don't want to see it. So if you have a really good behind-the-scene person that understands the importance of that department, they would capture not random moments, but things that are essential for the promotion of the film. Things that when people see it, they want to watch it. We used to say a saying in Nollywood that there are some BTS that are sweeter than the film. So you watch the BTS and you'll be like, oh my God, these people finish work. Hollywood does it too. And then film will come out, you'll be watching it, you'll be like, that's where you reach. Do you get? But they've already captured your attention. And you have already paid money to see it. So whether you like, complain, no. Whether you like, don't complain, no. Your money I've added to the figures of the producer. So it's important you get a BTS person that understands the vision of the film, that understands why they are there, and stuff. So that's your publicity material. So for this place, I would like plenty questions. So maybe some things you've watched, maybe you want to know how it was done, maybe you want to know who is responsible for what, things like that. So people that have been on sets before can help. So as superstar, this is your time to probably help channel the right questions so they can learn. Or you can actually then ask questions that maybe you saw something and you want to find out. But this is it. So when we are done with this stage, we'll go on a break and then we'll come back for the post-production. So I'll take 5 questions for this stage. I actually want to see new people ask questions, not to make people that have asked before not ask you. But no, ask please. Because sometimes you guys ask strategic questions that would make them learn, you know, because you can't give what you don't have, so you may not be able to ask the right questions. But like I said, there's nothing like a stupid question. If it comes to your mind, please ask.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Daniel. So the question I want to ask is, we see artists, rappers, musicians, most of them, we see them on set. Sometimes we see comedians in movies. Other than it being for publicity, like, what does it take to just decide, oh, I want to cast this musician in a movie, I want to cast this comedian in a movie?
Brother, it's publicity. There's no two ways about it. It's for the commercial viability of the film. So you have people saying, oh, why are they not casting actors that are good? Why are they casting influencers? So what I used to advise is to mix it up. Because at the end of the day, you've collected over 100 million naira from somebody that you have to return back. You need help. And these guys have the numbers. So you need them to be able to pull people to the cinemas. Because it's not whether you're a badass actor, you're a great performer, you know. It is, can you get people away from their house into the cinema? There are few actors that can do that. If I ask us to call 3, I think we can. Let's try. 3 actors that you think can make people leave their house if you cast them in your film and go watch a film in the cinema. No. Not chorus. Let's go. And this one is not our regular people that can, normal people can also try. We know them now. Do you understand? Oh yeah, let's go. You don't have to stand.
Okay. Shola Shubawale.
Okay, yeah. So here's the thing. This exercise is not, please, to throw anybody under the bus, please. This exercise is just for me to also understand if you have been very attentive of the filmmaking space you want to come into. Do you understand me? So it's not to throw anybody under the bus. Please, let's get that right. Let's go.
Latif Adedimeji.
What did you say?
Latif Adedimeji.
I can't hear you.
Latif Adedimeji.
Okay, Latif. What's your favorite Latif film? And we know people that are doing expo. You also give him back the mic. Let him tell me what is his favorite Antishola's film. Let's go. Your favorite Latif film?
Anila.
Okay. Give it back to him. Let him tell us his favorite Auntie Shola's film. The phone, the mic, Jerry. All right, let's go. Your favorite Auntie Shola's film?
King of Boys.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Adesua,
What's your favorite Adesuwa's film?
King of Boys.
Okay. Do you know the reason why King of Boys stood out for Auntie Shola? This is particularly because of actors. Please give him back the mic, and then you give it back to him. Do you know the reason why he stood out and it's special for Auntie Shola? And that's the reason why she has a very special relationship with Kemi Adetiba till date. Do you know? And this is particularly for actors. Let's go. I'm doing that.
So I think she really embodied the character.
No. She did embody the character, yes. But why is it so special to her? No, give it back to him. I'll probably just throw that in. Give it back to him. So the reason why, so that we don't waste too much time, because I want us to take as much as we can, so nobody leaves here empty-handed. Prior before King of Boys, when last have you seen Auntie Shola? That brought her back. And it did not just bring her back, it was a film that also revolutionized the cinema space at that particular point in time. Her performance in it also was another thing that killed it. But if Kemi had not thought about her to bring her back, that's where casting also comes in. If the marriage is not perfect, it shows. It shows. That's the reason why you can easily say an actor embodied the character. An actor can actually embody a character but not fit it. So that's why you're watching some films, Jesus, the actor is giving it their all. But you're like, if to say that this other actor play him, if for kill him. So it's not that actor is not acting, no. It's just that role is not really for that character. That is casting. So if you get the casting right, people that want to be directors and producers, there is a saying that when you get the casting right, 70% of your work as a director is done. Do you know what that means? That 70% of your work is done just to get your actor right. You get me? So don't cast somebody because it's your wife, because you want to marry the person, so you want to, put the person in your film, so that the person will not be like, oh my God, you helped my career. So the person will not say yes. No, guys, don't risk it. Unless it's your money. Do you get? If it's your money, by all means, waste it. But if it is somebody's money, people have died, though, of depression. People have committed suicide. People have slept in prison because somebody gave them money and there was no film. Simply because they hired the wrong crew and the wrong cast. So don't make that mistake, guys. All right, Tolu.
Good afternoon. An actor that will bring the money.
The one I'm saying is like the best actor. He's like fantastic. I don't know if have you seen anything he has done? Now, which one are they watch? Shebi, you will go to Korea and shoot. Me, I don't joke with Korean films, so Academy of Souls, I don't joke with it. I also don't joke with Indian films. Guys, please watch Padmavati if you haven't seen it. Shit, man. That's a brilliant film. So I don't joke with Indian films. I don't joke with Korean films. I don't joke with French films, with Italian films. Your job as filmmakers is to consume as many films as possible. You cannot, I repeat, be a good filmmaker if you don't watch films. I tell you that for free. You know why? In your mind, you want to make a film Nollywood has never seen before. You go and shoot. You know, if somebody calls me and says, Judith, I want you to produce for me, and they start with, I want to produce the film that will shake Nollywood, I'm not doing that job. That is usually a sign that that job will either not come out or it will not see the light of day. Which Nollywood do you want to change? Your job is to make sure each time you have an opportunity to shoot a film, shoot it to the best of your ability. Don't do it because of envy, because, Funke made over 1 billion, I'ma make it. Do you know what Funke does? Do you know how hardworking that woman is? Even Audu. Audu probably have over 50 projects in development. But guess what? She does not sleep. At 3 a.m., 4 a.m., that woman is on the phone. Because of time zone difference. She's there talking to somebody in the US, in Canada, in Japan. What is she looking for? Meanwhile, you, that don't even have skits to your name, you'll be sleeping. You want to change industry. You want to be like Mo. And there is absolutely nothing bad about dreaming. There's also a saying that says if your dream does not scare you, go back to sleep. So your dream needs to scare you. That is how you move from here to here. But you need to fuel it. So it's not about dreaming that, I want to change Nollywood. But you're not working towards it. You don't even have the money. Do you understand? You don't even have the means. You don't even have the access. So start from somewhere. But the little you are doing, do it well. You don't know who is watching. All right, Tolu, sorry.
Yeah, the actor that I think that breaks the banks always is Funke Akindele. Our numbers always shows.
Guys, I expect in your dream you could have said this. Like, do you know what it means to make over 1 billion? Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means? Let me start from making over 500 million, first of all, during half capacity, during COVID, when people thought cinema was dead. Do you know what that means? Do you know how much to watch a film is now? 2 people in your area, how much is it to go to the cinema?
5,000.
Huh? No, that's a lie now. It means it means say you know they go cinema. God, see how you are being exposed. Please, which cinema do for 2K? I will be going there with Uber. Where is it? I will go there. When last did you go to cinema and you paid 2K? Inside campus. Please, I'm asking of, you know what I'm asking of. How much is it to watch a film? 7.5, that's a realistic figure that I know. 5K and 4.5, there is a particular day. It's not every day. Maybe the movie don't they go, you know. Do you know what this does? It means I need to go cinema. Even the Netflix, I believe you are sharing with somebody. You are like the fifth person in the line. Are you the one paying it? I like how you are casting yourself. Nice. So, basically, it is between 4.5 to, I think, 8K to watch a film in the cinema. Do you know what that means? Do you know how much 8K is right now in Nigerian economy? Have you entered markets recently? You will cry blood. So imagine you are now taking this money to the cinema to watch a film that you may come out cursing. You may watch it and you'll be like, you will insult every... I'm not there. Oh. He will insult everybody. In fact, there was one we had one time that the customer went to beat the person at the selling the tickets. And they're like, take this film down now, rubbish film. Imagine they now gave the person cartoon tickets, animation, to go and watch instead. That's how bad it was. So why I say this, before I will take my money, get up from my house, do you also know how much fuel is? Do you know how much Uber is now? Guys, it's bad. I don't know how much local transport is, but I know that would also be ridiculous right now. But Uber, in fact, just yesterday, a friend of mine came from the airport. Guess how much she paid for Uber? 32K. For Uber, not normal taxi. She was furious. And I told her I can understand how you feel. Because I could have just followed my car, let the driver come and pick me up, and stuff. So why I'm using all this as an example, you fuel your car, or you take an Uber, and sometimes it's not only you that will go. You will take your friend, or God bless you, you take your entire family. Maybe they are like 5. Like children now, they don't care whether there's money or not. They want to watch Inside Out. They want to watch animation. You will take them. They will chop hot dog or popcorn. You will buy. Before you know what's happening, you spend over 50K to watch one film. My sister, to watch film. So if that person does not have the power to drag you from your house to the cinema, so the person asking for box office, this is box office. So it's the reason why sometimes you see people cast some certain people in their film and they will not mind paying them an arm and a leg. It is for commercial viability. Because at the end of the day, I need to return somebody's money back. And that person will not hear that, people did not come out to... Some people actually take their films to cinema, guys, and they don't make up to 5 million naira. There's a page called CEAN, C-E-A-N. They post box office numbers every day. You guys interested in box office, you should go to that page. They post it every week. CEAN. It's the cinema exhibition page of Nigeria, the Cinema Exhibition Association. They post so you can see what films are doing well, how much they have made, so you can't hide anymore. Sometimes we will not make up to 5 million, but we would lie to investor and say, I made 100 million. Because nobody will tell you to show them. Because these things are supposed to be secretive. But now, you can't hide it again. They can see it. So that's what these actors do. So we have Funke. Give me another one. We are going chorus. You know that I will ask you a question after that, so I can't take any name. All right, let's go.
Pete Deche.
Yeah? No, it's fine, guys. If that's our actor, it's fine. Give her back the mic. What film has he done that you like, that you think as a producer, he made a lot of money in the cinemas because of him? Let's go.
He had Things Fall Apart.
No, the things... Why are you laughing? Don't mind them.
Because the film has novels. Through the film, you learn...
Did you watch Things Fall Apart?
Yes, I watched it.
I've known your age. Because I want to believe 98% of the people here did not watch Things Fall Apart. Am I lying? Where did you watch it? Now I will know if you watch it. Where did you watch it? Yeah.
I watch it in television now.
I already know your age, so don't worry, don't be shy.
Even the film, even this particular film that I'm talking about have a novel.
No film. You say Things Fall Apart.
Yes,
Focus
it
on
has
Things Fall
novel.
Apart. What do you
Yes,
because
it
I have love? I don't care. Things Fall Apart is an adaptation of a book.
I say novel.
Oh, novel. From where to where? No, sis. We're talking about the films, the actors that can make you go to the cinema and watch a film.
That is the man I'm talking about, Pete Edochie.
Who wrote the novel? Men, I let her talk now. Why not they give her a spoon now? No, sis, I'm on you. If you don't know it, you will learn today. There's nothing there.
Achebe.
Oh yeah, correct. Why are you clapping? Correct her. The guy in front of her, correct her. You said the right name. But you said it. So who said it? Somebody on that row said it. So all of you, is Chima Achebe that wrote Things Fall Apart? Because she didn't know it before. It was when that person said it that she now, she just. So here's the thing, sis. When Things Fall Apart was adapted, it was on TV on NTA. It was on NTA at the time. And till now, it's one of the greatest TV series ever made in Africa, not just Nigeria. So you have Things Fall Apart, you have New Masquerade, you have Kokora Dawn. I don't expect any of you to know it. If you know it, maybe you heard somebody say it, because there's no way you would know it and stuff. So no, guys, let's go. Second person, and we move. And I like to clap. What has she done that you like? Have you guys seen Fumilayo?
Yes.
How many people have seen Fumilayo? Guys, how many people have Netflix here? And lights will come at some point in life. How many people have Netflix? I mean, Prime, not Netflix, Amazon Prime. How many people have Amazon Prime? You all need to watch Fumilayo Ransom Kuti. Guys, all of you, when she said Kehinde Bankole, I was waiting for her to name because, see, for Kehinde Bankole, there is no one film. That girl is a beast. Every single role she plays, all of them, you don't see Kehinde. You see the actor. Even me as an actor, as a producer, I will be watching Kehinde, I'll be having goosebumps. I'll be so angry, but I'll be having goosebumps. Fam, watch Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, especially all the women in the house. And the men too, so you'll know that when women stand together, shit happens. Because everybody, maybe I should ask, who is Fumilayo Ransom Kuti and why is she popular? Oh yeah, not my regular people. This, every Nigerian should know at least one. Why is Fumilayo Ransom Kuti popular? I don't want my regular people, now everybody did this class. This is common, what do you used to call it in what? This is current affairs. They used to ask it in JAM and WAEC. Who is Fumilayo Ransom Kuti?
Do I answer?
No. I say, you know my regular people now, uncle. I don't want them. All of us here don't date university, I believe. Who is Fumilayo Ransom Kuti? Come on. Let's go. At least there is one you will know.
She was the first woman to ride the car in Nigeria.
You see, that's the first thing people used to say about it. That's why I asked. She has been littled. Though she's the first woman that rode a car. What's the second one? There's another one. Let's go. Let's go. Don't do chorus answer. I will ban you from this class. Not him now. Guys, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, even with the name. Now, no. No, not him. Not him. It's a lie. They have told her the answer. Somebody else that is not close to my regulars. Oh, yeah, that guy have answered before, I think. This guy too have answered before, but let's go.
Fela Kuti.
Wait, what happened to Fela Kuti?
Wait, she gave back. Wait.
See, he's telling her. He's telling her. He's telling him.
No. She gave birth to Fela Kuti. Fela Nikulapo.
These are the kind of people where when they copy you in exam, they will copy your name. Now I'm going to tell you who this woman is. And you will see the reason why history is important, because we of course don't learn history anymore in our country. But when people do powerful things, especially women, they are reduced to the minute things. So when you think of FRK, even in your common entrance, the thing you see there is first woman to ride a car. That's what you see there. And according to history, some actually say she's not the first woman to ride a car, but history records her as the first woman to ride a car. Do you know that there was a time in history, in the Egbe land, where women paid tax? Only women paid tax. Men don't pay tax. Men don't work. Women are the ones that go to work. They go to the market. The administration charges them an arm and a leg for tax. Funmilayo has been an activist from when she was young. She's the first woman to also train people on how to become an activist. She's actually like the first noted feminist. So the good feminist, though, not the bad feminist. The one that fights for the rights of women, for equal rights of women. That's who she is. So she doesn't take nonsense. If you are doing it to a woman, do it to a man. That's what she usually asks for. Be fair. So only women they used to collect tax from. So this was the time when the British administration, I think it was after the World War, so they were getting money from all their colonies to repair their country. So they were taxing poor people heavily. They didn't have money. So it was so bad that if you say, I have not sold, they will beat you up. Then if you say, I have not started selling, they will strip you naked. If you have started having small breasts, they will charge you. So the minute you have shown that you are now coming of age as a woman, whether you're working or whether you're not working, they will start charging you tax, and it is very heavy tax. She schooled abroad. And when she came back, she had a friend. So her husband is in the family is the Ransom Kuti family. She married into the Ransom Kuti's family. So her husband was a clergyman. They met in school. So they are like school sweethearts. Their love story is a beautiful one. You guys really watch the film. They met in school. She was the first woman to attend a school in her village. Because women don't go to school, the school she attended was a boarding house for boys. She was the only woman in that school. So boys used to bully her, and she would beat them up. So she doesn't take any. So from there, she had already established, I'm a no-nonsense person. Because I'm a woman, you won't treat me this way, and all that. So when she went to the States to read and came back, she now learned how we are being treated over there. Her name used to be it was an English name. So when she came back was when she changed it to her middle name, which is Funmilayo. So she never went by her English name again. And then she married, yes. And then she married this guy from the Ransom Kuti family. And at the time, her friend that she made there, who is my bestie that played it, Oma Umidada, she played the mother of Soyinka. So she was Grace Ransom Kuti. She's the one that gave birth to, what's his name, Soyinka. So you see that in the blood of this family, there is activity. So both of them went to the market, and then they heard the woes of women. In fact, she experienced this guy, I think they were called the Paraco, so I can't pronounce it. They will come to the market and beat women if they say they don't have money. So she experienced it, and she stood and slapped the guy. This guy is probably like this. So all the women were like, who is this woman? You want them to kill us. So from there was when she gained the name Lioness. They started calling her a lioness because she faced the authority. So when this news got to town that there is a woman that did this, they now increased the tax that, oh, you people want to show yourself. Oh, yeah, now. They now increased the tax. Do you know what Funmilayo did? Funmilayo now started training the women on how to protest. It was a peaceful protest. Do you know what they would do? They would just go to the palace, sit down in front of the palace. So because women have never done anything significant, the men thought, what's the highest they would do? After 2 days, they will go back home. They didn't take any steps. They didn't listen to them. These women did not go back home. They were there. Rain, sun, these women stood with Funmilayo and Grace, and they were there. Ah, guys, you guys need to watch this film. Okay, they ate. They ate the role, you know. And when they saw that these women, the matter is becoming serious, so. Another thing you can learn from this, if you are not married, or if you are dating somebody, or if you're about to date somebody, the most important decision you make in your life is who your partner would eventually be in life. If you get that wrong, your destiny is probably almost gone. Her partner was so supportive that he gave his life for her. No, well, it's not like he gave his life for her. It's not like he gave his life. It's just that he was sick, but he didn't tell her. Because he knew, because he would have still died anyway. But what would have happened was that she would have stopped the protest, and she would have stayed with him. So it's not like he went and took gunshot too, because I know that's what you already know. He had a terminal illness and he would have died regardless. But he didn't tell her because he wanted her to stand forth, so he kept on encouraging her. Even when the administration now beat them, injured them, and threw them into the prison. Do you know what this now did? Oh, they now formed an association called the Women Association of Nigeria. And that association till today is the strongest association of women in Nigeria. So after their success, every state now formed it. I don't know if we know about the Aba Women Riot. It was after Funmilayo that they got triggered. If a woman can do it, let's take it. You know. So after that, she felt bad that she did that, but then she felt convinced that if these women would stand with her, and they sent word to all the women all over. So they had, according to history, I think over 100,000 women showed up in Egba land from all over Nigeria to stand with them. So at that time, when the British people saw that matters have gotten out of hand, they left the Egba man, they left the king alone. The king now said, okay, they can remove 10 shillings from the money. They are like, no, remove everything. But matter have already gone out of hand. The Ogboni people came because at the time, women can't face Ogboni people. So they thought if the Ogboni people come out with their regalia, the women will run away. But the women knew that there was a day will come where they will do that. So the women already prepared the women also society, because men cannot see the nakedness of a woman. So the minute the Ogboni people came out, the women stripped naked. The Ogboni ran back inside, and they abandoned the king. Now they enjoy him, Abi, but I never watch him. So women, this is your fellow woman that stood for history. So what they did, they chased away the Egba man from the palace. The king ran, guys. The king and all his chiefs ran away. I think to Ogun State or something. But they ran away and left the palace. They took the mass. So they were in control. So it was from that time women now started entering politics. So they now said, if you want to form a new chamber, women must be part of it. So it's not like we want to be the king or anything, but we have to be part of the decision makers. So from there, women now start making decisions. So do you think it was fair on her that history only knows her as first woman that rode a car? This woman changed history for women in not just Nigeria, but Africa. But we only know that she was the first woman that rode a car. We only know that she's Fela's mother. That's all we know. So guys, please, watch Fumlayo Ransom Kuti and get inspired, women and men too. Okay. There's one name I'm looking for that I've not gotten. Timini has just proven himself, yes, to be a box office breaker. Who is the person calling Timini? Let me hear your favorite Timini film. You don't know. You don't know his name. Yeah, you love his tease and composure, but you don't know his film. What? What did she say? No, give her back that phone. Give her.
The movie.
Give her. Oh, yeah?
The name of the movie title, I think.
When you said Timini, then all of us said,
It has
no. We have one name now.
Okay,
Eh?
There is one, the audition, but that one is not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one.
When I ask you guys why you like them, I expect you to call a film that made them break the box office, that made you think they are box office actors. Timini is, but give me his film.
I think it's Oludare or.
Auntie. I don't know. Tolu, you know any Ikorodu garage? Let's go.
To be back, hurry.
No, we are still. We
Okay,
need to
so-
solve this problem.
One of the movie that Timini acted was what's the name of this movie? Tribe of Judah, I guess. He was in Tribe of Judah too.
Give me another one because Tribe of Judah, there were a lot of beasts in that film. Every single soul in that film performed. Give me something you feel, if not be say Timini did the film, that film no go blow. I need that.
So, I think this is the movie.
I hope we're enjoying this process and it's not a waste of your time. Let's go.
So I think this is the movie that put him on that box office level. It was Elevator Baby with Tony Abraham. I think he won AMVCA with that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But give me another current film. That started the journey. Give me a current one. Give me, that started it. Give me a current one that sealed it. No, don't give Uncle Femi.
The one.
All right, let's go.
The Kujus.
Eh?
The Kujus. The Kuju family.
How much did he make in the cinema? You people need to prove to me you know these things. Oh yeah. Filmmakers, let's go.
I believe Breaded Life.
How much did he make in the cinema? Did Breaded Life go to cinema or it went straight to streaming?
Went straight to streaming.
It went straight to streaming now.
Went straight to.
No, I need a film that did cinemas. Because streaming, they don't already pay you your money now. If the film like it, do it. If you like it, not do it. They don't pay you.
I don't know this
What?
recent one, if it is Shino that is the title, the recent one that he did.
What?
Shino.
Shino.
Yes.
You should not go to the cinema. Oh yeah, now you guys, stay jiggy. Know the reason why I'm asking. Oh yeah, well, auntie says she have no, give her back the mic. Uncle, give her back the mic. She says she don't know him.
Joshua.
Thank you. I'm going to a round of applause. How much did he make? She said, How much did he make?
To watch it. I don't know how much he made in total.
What was the first thing you said?
He made money from me too. I watched it.
Did he send you his Aza?
But I paid. Indirectly, he got the money.
You know. This girl knows Timini rich house.
I don't know her like that though.
Does anybody know how much Ajosepu made? Oh, wow. Which filmmakers do you people follow? It's on their page. Even Timini posted it on his page.
About 277.
Over! It's almost 300 if it has not passed 300 by now. Million, guys. You know. So, yeah. All right. I need one more female and we wrap this up. One more female. All right, let's go. One more female. Give somebody mic now. Plenty hands there up now. This guy have favorite people he used to give mic. People have pain. All right, let's go.
Tony Abraham.
What?
Tony Abraham.
Guys, a round of applause, please. No, give her back. You know the. Which film?
Malaika.
How much did Malaika make?
Over 200,000.
What did she say? Over 10,000. Yeah, he actually made over 200. Yeah. So here's the thing I love about towing that I think you guys should practice. We have women that are, so in the industry right now, women are like beasts. You have the likes of course, Funke Akindele, who has crossed the 1 billion mark. Only God knows if he reach there again, but we'll be going. We have the likes of Audu, who revolutionizes everything concerning us as filmmakers globally. We have Bolanle Austin Peters, who does the same thing. We have Kemi Adetiba, who does the same thing. We have Jade Oshiberu, who does the same thing. I can go on and on about women, guys. That's the reason why if you look at the top 10 box office numbers in Nollywood, I think 8 of them or 9 of them are women. I think the only man there is AY, I think. Or now Kayode has now joined it because of compilation of his films and stuff. So because of compilation of his films, he has also now, you can put him in the 1 billion naira thing. What Toyin does is, Toyin is in a competition with herself. She tells us whoever cares to listen. So she tells you, if maybe Alakada did 50 million, my next film, I would want it to do 100. She doesn't set ridiculous, I want it to do 100. So when it has done 100, if you follow her on her page, she will write that she has broken her record. That's the record she wants to be breaking. And her fan base are like, they're like ants, guys. It's the reason why no matter what, we can't talk about, but no matter what, her fan base is her fan base. They will come out for her. So if you're an actor and you have created that, we call it a cult following, and you've created that cult following, no matter what you do, whether it's bad or whether it's good or, they will watch it. And they will be rolling on the floor in the cinema. And you that think you are sane, you will be wondering, am I the one that is not normal? Are we watching the same film? That's what cult following does to, to actors. So box office question, that's what translates to your box office number. So shall we go on a break? Ayo, how many minutes is our break? Or Ogafemi? What? 15 minutes. 15 minutes, no go let them shop and drink water now. How many more minutes do we have, though, so that when we come back, because we've actually brushed through all the most important things. We've even spoken about distribution a bit. So when we come back, it will be pretty fast. In all. So 45 minutes for the second part. That's fair enough. That's fine. That's fine. But guys, so far, is this been educative? All right. So we break and be back 20 minutes? Okay. What are you guys going to be doing? You have something secret you want to do? You want to share money? So you want to chase me away? I want to watch now. What am I? Yeah. All right, guys. So see you in a bit. Thank you so much. You've been an amazing class. Thank you. And I'm here. If you have personal questions, where shame no let you ask, we can have a conversation one-on-one.
Okay, since you're here, I wanted just be here.
All right, guys. Go and eat now. Go and eat. The people that are hungry is not cashing. You can be coming 1-1. I'm strong. But you can earn it for yourselves now. You won't come to me now. You can bring this like this. Don't inconvenience yourself because of me.
I saw you were coming here. So I just stay nearby.
So your break is over. We're way behind time now, so we need to. Yeah, can you guys go sit down here? It's only you that is eating that. It's only you that is eating this. Let's settle down, please. Let's come forward now. Come forward. No. Just move forward. People at the back, move forward. If you are here with us, please let's settle down. So are you set to go on the second? No, I've canceled that. We have to take it out so that we've got time. No. We'll go straight to yours, sir. All right, so we're going straight to the second session. There was supposed to be something before that, but we have to move it because of time. So, where's she going? Okay, can someone help me with my phone there? My phone. All right, let's put our hands together for our guest speaker for the second and final session for today. Please, let's move forward, please. Let's move forward. Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. So far, how would you rate our conversations? So if I give you money now to shoot a film, you can take it to this step we are in. All right.
Sure.
So next slide, we are now moving to the post-production stage. So for some people, this is the fun part. But for me, the principal photography is the fun part because I love madness. It pumps a certain kind of rush in me, especially when I'm doing a really massive film that people think can't be done. And then when the director says it's a wrap, there's a rush that comes like, we did it. You know, if you've ever been in a film crew wrap party, you will understand the reason why some people used to dance their hearts out. It's not easy, man. Sometimes you're on your feet for over 30 hours, just trying to make sure we entertain people. That at the end of the day, they will drag us. You know. So it's always nice when people that have never been on a film set before come to a film set. They will not be like, oh, man, as soon as they suffer. Because they think it's a glamorous thing. But we just love to do it. So for us, it is what it is. So this stage, the post-production stage, like I said, you already have a DIT on set that is copying all your cards every day and making sure you shot all the scenes that is on your schedule. And making sure the sound is entering well, the color is not, the cinematographer is doing the right format. The DIT will check all that every day. If you already have an offline editor, so sometimes I can be shooting now, but because I have started conversation with my distributor, remember, during the development stage, he has given me a date. It's the reason why Funke would have already had a date in December. Tony would have already had a date in December. So the distributor knows that I'm going to come this month. They will now block a date for you. So if you're already shooting and you know you have a release date already, it means you don't have an excuse. Your film has to be ready. So that way you would have who we call the editor, maybe it, or the editor will bring it, someone called an offline editor, that will be piecing it together after the DIT has collated everything, has wrangled it. And then the editor will now put together the entire film with a script and give you what we call a first cut. This first cut is the editor's idea of the first look of the film. From the script, he puts it together, and then he sends it to you and says, this is my first cut. He will send it to the producer will then send it to the director and the executive producer, and they'll watch it. I would warn you that sometimes you cry after your first cut. You would think you have wasted money. Like, is this what we were shooting? Maybe there's one scene that you people finish shooting. You now started clapping for the actor. Oh my God, the actor gave his all. You are now watching it in post. You are wondering, what were we clapping for? Because in that moment, these things were really, good. But now you're here. So we always say edit is what makes or break a film. If you have a very bad editor and you shot a good film, your film is going to be bad. If you have a bad editor or a good editor and you shoot a bad film, he will try and rescue it. He will try. But there's so much he can do. It's the reason why when they say fix it in post, we used to cancel it these days and say, no, fix it on set. Nothing like fix it in post. Fix it on set if you can. Because it will cost you a lot of money to go and fix it in post. So try and hire an editor that is a storyteller. There are 3 very important storytellers in making a film. After the scriptwriter has given you the story, you have the producer, you have the director, and you have the editor. If your editor is a cut and join editor, which is what we have a lot in this country, you'll be like, yeah, cut them, yeah, put them, yeah, cut them. Even the transition will not flow. You just see somebody who just wake up, just no smooth transition. It's why you watch some films and you think they did not cut in the film. They took the film from a scene take, we call it one take, from beginning till the end, because the editor had very smooth transitions. So after the editor has given you a first cut, understand that there is also a timeline. As a producer, you would have given your executive producer a production calendar. We call it a production calendar. From the development stage, you would have given the calendar to break down the entire process of the film and deliverables from start to distribution. So you have to follow your timelines. When the first cut is being watched, sometimes everybody will be in a room together to watch it. Sometimes just the director will go and watch it. If you have cried, you clean your tears, you continue the work. If you look at it, you say, it's like there are some new scenes we need to go and shoot. But the reason why it's like that is because you are watching raw footages. No music has been put on it. No sound has been put on it. The sound has not been cleaned. Picture is raw. So everything you are seeing is in its raw format. They've not done any other work to it. So sometimes it's why music is a very, very important element in film. So it's after they put that you have, the flow. But these days, God bless our editors, to avoid EPs crying, they used to help us put a music holder so that at least there will be something similarly like what the sound design will be, but not the sound design. So you can watch it with something as against watching it with raw audio. After this, we then have what we call the director's cut. the director will now go and sit with the editor and look at this film from beginning again to the end. So if you're an actor, it's the reason why sometimes in the script, when you watch the film, you will realize the film is not starting from where it started in the script. They will retell the story from another angle because they realize that during edit, that idea that they had is not working, and they now tell a different story that is still the same story, but a stronger story. So some of them may start from the end and then do a flashback, you know, so different, or some of them may use back and forth as a method, you know. Those decisions sometimes are written in the script, but sometimes are also made to make the film stronger in the edit. So sometimes when the director's cut come, you will be happy with the film. Other times when the director's cut come, the producer would still not be happy with the film. We will now get what we call the producer's cut. The producer's cut is usually mostly for like showrunners or like creative executives, like a Audu, a Judith Uziberu, an Inblocked, a Kule Afolayan. Well, Kule Afolayan is usually his producer anyway, so he won't. But yeah, so Moabudu, Jade Oshiberu, those. So they would watch it and then decide if they need to now do another cut that we then now call the producer's cut. Most times this is for series, not necessarily for film. Because for film, the film is usually a film by the director. But the series is not usually by the director. It's usually by the showrunner. And the showrunner is the executive producer, a creative executive producer. So when this is now locked, we now move on to doing things simultaneously. Someone came to introduce himself as an editor in the room. So do you want to tell us what's the first thing you would do after a cut is locked? Let's see if you are really an editor. Person don't deny your role. I thought you would jump up with pride.
After the edit has been locked, then we can move to the next stage, which is some editors might decide to do their color grading and send it to the producer and the director if that's the actual look they have for the film. And
I know people behind the camera are very shy, I know, so, but you are saying the right thing, so say it with confidence.
Yes, so, and they send it to the director. While during the process whereby the film has been locked, they also send the audio to the audio engineer to work on the audio. So during the process whereby the film has been locked, the movie, they can't really change anything on it again, because once they change anything...
That is a very important note. When you have locked a cut, 1 second cannot move. When 1 second move, that's when you are watching film, the actor's audio is not syncing with the dialogue, and the audio are not syncing. It's because he moved. So when a cut is locked, it's locked. Thank you. Please, a round of applause for him. People behind the camera are very shy people. So when you have the locked cut, you can now, sometimes the editor may be the color grader. If it is not a big budget film, your editor may actually be your sound designer, your final mixer, your color grader, and your music person. You know, your editor will do all that, and there's nothing wrong with it. But if you have money, you can then now delegate and give maybe grading to somebody else and music to somebody else and stuff. But when you then have this locked cut, you will now send it to whoever is doing your color grading. You will send it to whoever is doing your subtitling. So subtitling is the reason why you can be watching a Nigerian film in India and they are speaking India. And it's almost like, it's because you know that this person is Nancy Simon. Now why is she? Because you know, but them don't know. So we call that dubbing. That's your SRT file that you've given to them that they usually use to dub. Because what happens is they would write how many seconds the person spoke and what dialogue it is that the person said. So they will dub it in different languages. So if your film is on Netflix, if you're in different countries, if you're in France, it's French the people are speaking. It's the same as when you are watching a Korean K-drama. You can decide to want to watch it in their language or in English. It's because of that file that has been submitted that they usually use. Because some people, when you want to say yes, it's just yes, 3-letter word. In some country, this yes will be very long. But they have to figure out how to make sure it doesn't get longer than that second, that you've already submitted. It's why we try not to be talking ta-ta-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa, so that there will be breathing space to fit these things in. And then that is also another place you guys can easily make money, guys. Subtitling is easy money. Very easy money. So subtitling is something you can learn. Script supervising and continuity is something you can learn. We probably have not up to 5 good script supervisors in Nigeria. I think the last time most people that have been asking some specific questions, I've been telling them who to follow. For script supervising, follow Ujunwa Ofo. She's like one of my best script supervisors. She usually does trainings sometimes. For assistant directing, follow Mayowa Bakari. She does trainings sometimes. She does training for scheduling, and she does training for AD. And she will then now invite you to come intern on her set. And she does really big projects. So follow her and see when she has posted that there's training going on or will happen. She does it like maybe 2 or 3 times a year. What else? And then you have the music. Sometimes, because it's expensive to get original songs, you may now get, if you have somebody maybe in your choir that sings really well, or some of your friends that sing really well, you can take them into the studio to record what we call original song. So you send them the script, they will read it, and they will write lyrics. And they will enter the studio and record it. That's the cheapest form of music. But if the time you were writing it, it was the video song you were hearing that time, or Burna Boy that you were hearing that time, you will have money, to get it right for the song. But do not, under any circumstances, use these songs without asking them for the right. Sometimes you may be shocked that they will not collect money from you. They may just also like the idea of it. But if they say that, make sure it is written, that they are giving it to you. Because they will tell you how many seconds you can use inside. They will tell you what you can use it for. If you can use it for promotion, if you can't use it for promotion, all these things will be in the document. So if you don't have a lawyer, you can write to whoever their manager is. It's usually on their page. Every musician has the person you can contact to talk to them on their page. They reply. Send them an email and say, oh, I'm a young filmmaker. I just shot this film. I would like to use this song. I would love to get the rights for it. Stuff like that. And they'll reply you. Highest they will say is no. Do you get? But you've established a contact with them already. So yeah. And then for sound design, you remember we're talking about mood and feel when you're watching the film. The sound design and the music are the things that put you in that frame of mind. Let me see. Which Nigerian film have you watched that you really, really enjoyed the music and the sound design and it touched you?
I'm trying to remember the name. It was Sister, I think. Sister, yes. That was
Okay. Well, I don't know that film.
My own is Gang of Lagos.
Okay. This Better Half, where did you watch it? Where is it? It have not come out. Oh, okay. Oh, Ruth films actually. Ruth is a storyteller. She started off from acting, writing, before she became a producer. So she's a massive, storyteller. So her stories are always very, very, interesting. It's the reason why she stands out, in her stories. Which other one? So we've heard Sister, and I think we agree with that. We've heard Gangs of Lagos. I think we agree with that. Which one again? Huh? Huh? So the thing, see, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against it, but I just wanted films that all of us would have heard before. I think Treasure is the one that they did like over 5 million, maybe 10 million views in less than 2 or 3 days. That's the school, Abby. Yeah, so I know of them because I know they're probably like the number one. Jesus, they make shitload of money on YouTube, guys. These people that did Treasure. So while you are here looking for billions to make film, people are making money with. So whatever means you have, just put your best foot forward. Because you don't know where your blessing is going to come from. You get me? All right, I need another film. We have Sister, we have Gangs of Lagos, and we can agree that the music and sound design was amazing. And Nicola, Breath of Life, oh my God, that film. Have everybody seen Breath of Life? Yeah. I know saying I just chorus the answer because you are scared that I will now say what was amazing in the film. Anyway, that's one of my best films for this year, man. Jesus, that film I was so proud to be a Nigerian watching that film. So yes, I agree with every single thing about the film.
Black Panther.
Jago, Shantytown.
Black Panther, the
Nigerian film.
I was talking about the music.
We know if we compare ourselves with Hollywood, they always do it right. So, and they have the money. The money they used to shoot film, we use it to shoot like a... maybe the whole year, we use it to shoot film back to back.
So the other one is Brotherhood.
Okay. Brotherhood too. Did they say you should not raise hand up? All right, let's go. One more and we move. But what I'm getting from this is you understand what I mean by the importance of music and sound design in a film and how it provokes emotions. So one last one.
Ayoka Alagba.
Huh? I really didn't hear.
Okay. Ayoka Alagba.
Ah.
Ayoka Alagba.
Was it on cinema or Netflix or Prime? Does anybody know the film? All right. Another one. I need one that everybody knows and we move. What? God. It means you didn't watch the film. If you watch the film, you understand the reason why. God Calling. Who else saw God Calling? It's the same people that did Breath of Life that did it. Have you realized that from the films you are calling, there are some people that their film have come twice? What does that say about those filmmakers? What does that say about those filmmakers? You're saying what you think I want to hear. No, tell me what you think. What does that say about it? We've called Brotherhood, we've called Gangs of Lagos, those two are Jade Oshiberu. We've called Breath of Life, we've called God Calling, those two are Bibi Sasore. We've called Shantytown, but Shantytown was Chichi Nwora. That's their first biggest. The other ones are not out yet, but they are going to wow you when they come out.
Okay, but I think what it says is that the producer is actually keen on
performance, keen on how those people are able to drive their work and publicity. Thank you.
Not necessarily. So just one, and then I'll just go.
Okay, what I would say based on I'll say the storyline. They're trying to, you know.
Or the storyline, they always say what makes a good film is story, story, story. So without your story, that is already out of the window. Those are the three things that make a good film. Story, 1, 2, 3. So what that says about these filmmakers is that they pay attention to details. That's all. They pay attention to details. Because I can do a film and I give it to the best sound designer in the world that is probably based in UK, in India, or in Europe, and they will do something for me. But because of the name that I've done it, I don't care to watch it, to follow up. I just trust that they've done it. But these guys go through all the nitty-gritty of making sure their post-production goes the way they have envisioned it. It is paying attention to details, guys. It's another very important skill you all need to possess. As directors, as filmmakers, as actors, you need to pay attention to every single details, of everything you do. So at this time, everything is ongoing. Everything will now probably come back at the same time, and we'll all now sit down and watch the film. If we're happy, we will then now be able to send this cut. Sometimes you can send your first cut to the distributor to just see that we are working, but sometimes it may not be good, especially if the first cut is not really strong. The distributor will not be scared, But if you know that, this film is very, very good, you can already start having those conversations, with distributors. I don't know if anybody heard about Red Circle recently. What do you know they use in social media do? But even on TikTok, these things are there. So it means you are not following the right people. You are following a Ming Yong Yong. You need to follow people that are doing what you want to do in the space you want to come into. Sometimes they drop gems on the streets of Instagram or Twitter. You pick it up. But if you're not following them, you don't see these gems. Someone came, I'm not going to point him out, and he said he went to Elka. And Elka is Ebony Life. So there's like a 3-month program. And I asked him, what has he done after that? Because when you go for things like this, find people. Make friends with people. After you leave here, have a clique. Have your own tribe. There are actors. There's an editor, there's a writer, there's a DP, there's director, there's producer. What does that mean, guys? Film done set. What else do you need? You have a phone. Shoot it. So when you come for things like this, me, I hate talking because I believe we just talk and talk and talk. I will tell you, all right, guys, you will clap. I will go home. You two, you will feel fulfilled. Tomorrow, when they ask you, what did you learn from Judith? Nothing. But you remember that, by the time Judith was talking, we're clapping. But you can't remember anything. So if you don't live with anything, I think I said this at the conference. But now this is a more smaller group. Everybody here are here because of filmmaking. But in the conference, people were there for different reasons. Some were there to take picture. But you are here because you want to be filmmakers. How do you become a filmmaker, guys? Just one person. How do you become a filmmaker? Making what? Food? You become a filmmaker by making a film. Whether the film is good or whether the film is not good or. Have you made a film? When you're introducing yourself, what will you say? When they say, have you done anything, what will you say? When they say, where is it, what will you say? You know hard pass like that too, guys. So from like that, money will now be coming. You can have somebody here that have camera. So you don't even now need to use your phone. You guys will come together, shoot it. Look at your big brother, Tolu. He can help you. You're in trouble, Tolu. I'll keep putting you on the spot. He's such a fantastic actor, guys. And now he has gone on to now direct and make his own film for the British Council. Do you know how he did it? Please, somebody give him the mic. Tolu, just briefly on how you got the opportunity so that they will understand what I'm trying to say about using social media for the right. Where the mic now? All right, come and take this one. Come and give him this one. No. Time is going. Before they know, now, they will say it's 5 minutes that is remaining.
Yes, ma'am. 5 minutes actually.
You need to use your social media well, guys. After he finishes, I would use myself as an example and talk about that film Mr. Femi spoke about that we shot in Nigeria and in Sierra Leone when we're done.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think she has said it all. You just need to take the bull by the horn. Last year, even before last year, I've been applying for everything, anything and everything on social media. So I got...
Did you hear that? Everything and anything.
So far, it has to do with filmmaking. I had passion for it. I've been doing it for some time. But I really wanted to do something of my own. So I saw something about Film Lab Africa done by British Council. It was big. They had a lot of forms. We were over 50,000 that applied. They took only about 60 of us. So that kind of opportunity, you just have to take it. You don't have to, I think the problem most of us make is we try to grow upward, but you should think about growing sideways. People sitting beside you, people in the same level with you. RMD will not remember me if you're looking for a job, but my friend sitting beside me was, yeah, Tolu can do it. So try to think sideways. When you grow sideways, you can grow up. Use whatever you can do to make a film. A phone, there are so a lot of, you go to YouTube, there are a lot of phones, there are a lot of films made by phones on YouTube.
Phone film was even nominated for Oscar.
Yes.
Phone.
Made by phones. And you can use any kind of phones. You just have to just do the right thing. Do the right thing in the right way. Practice with people you know. Call people you know and go for auditions. Auditions are very important. I went to auditions still. People started saying they're supposed to give me audition t-shirts. Right now, I hardly go for auditions, and it's not because I'm better than others.
This guy is a big boy.
I have worked, and people will just call me, this job. And it gets better from that. You just need to work to be a filmmaker, to be an actor, to be whatever. You just really need to put in the... I put in everything I had into it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tolu.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tolu. So here's your take home from that, guys. I would use my experience and then I'll just wrap that up with it. Your family people is already giving me a sign. When I came into this industry, I started off as an actor. And the industry was messed up. You all have it easy now. You can go on social media, you see audition notice. Then we have to go to National Theatre and see notice. It's like a job. It's like 9 to 5. You bath in the morning, you go to, we call it red clay. You go to National Theatre, and you will see if anybody have put audition notice. We will sit down there from morning till night. People would come, producers will come and do audition. On the spot, it's open audition. Oh. If you are good, everybody is seeing it. If you are bad, everybody is seeing it. And then next thing, your names will be pasted on the wall. They will now give you scripts. They will now, that's how it was at the time. But now, it's on social media. So it was really crazy then. So it was affecting school. So I stopped. And then I came back after my master's because I was then convinced that this is what I want to do. Even though it's annoying. But for some reasons, I just want to be here. And do you know what I did, guys? Because I don't know anybody, I'm not going to do the things I don't want to do because I have an integrity to protect. I started following the filmmakers I want to work with. So it is not any random person, oh, this person did a film. No. So I can watch Breath of Life and I'll be like, who did this film? Nemsel Studio, Bibi Sashori. I will go to Instagram, follow him. Like that. So like that, I started seeing they would have audition notice. and I would attend it. Whether I get that job or not did not matter to me at that point in time. But I was introducing myself to this class of people. Hence how my journey started with the right people. That's why when you call Judith Audu, everybody knows the job has to be a correct job. Because from my early stage, I had said I will not do certain kind of films, not because they are bad. There's nothing wrong with it. But that's not what I want to do. That's not why I came. Do you understand? So you need to now know what do you want to do and use your phones, guys. LinkedIn, I registered on LinkedIn. I was sending messages to people. I would get their email. I will send message. I will send my headshot. I will send my CV. I will go to their office that time in Surulere. I did monologues on a CD. Now I know that they enjoy now. I will go to these people's office, submit my CD, submit my CV. At least out of 50, one go call back one day. Even if it's one scene, I would have been in their space and they will know me. You know? When this opportunity came for this Sierra Leone job, it was Best Okodwa. I didn't know Best at the time. And I saw the audition notice. I think I missed the audition notice. Because me and my friends then, we love... I don't think there's ever been a generation of Nollywood that love auditions. We love auditions, for the sheer joy of it. Sometimes we just want to go and show ourselves. We don't even want that job. We just want to go there and show ourselves. Me, Ijoma Agu, Uzo, Osinka, Omo Omi Dada, all these people. We just love, because every time I'm in front of somebody auditioning, I'm performing, guys. I'm performing. And I'm sharpening my skills. You know? And I sent Best a message, and I'm like, oh, I see you did an audition the other day. I missed it, but can I still come for the next day? He now said, yeah, I can come. I think it was 10 o'clock he gave me. Guys, I was there at 6 a.m. Now me, they find work. I was there at 6 a.m. And we did the reading, and they were like, oh, wow. And then they gave me the role on the spot for just one film. I'm the only one that crossed across the two films. Do you know why? Because I came early. Because I used to come early. That's why Bess just fell in love with me. It's like, your punctuality. So sometimes, find that thing. It may not be your talent, guys. It may be your personality that attracts people. It's the reason why people would say you can be the most talented person in the room, but heck, I will pick someone that is not talented, that have good attitude to be my lead actor. That's why sometimes when I watch film where the actor no good, nobody say we know, we know. But they have good attitude. We'll pick them over your faves. Because your fave may not show up on set. Your fave may show up late on set. Your fave will be making costumier cry. Your fave will be making makeup cry. Why? So why wouldn't I give somebody that will give me peace of mind? Do you get? So these are the things that make you tick. That's how I got that job, guys. And from there, we went all the way to Sierra Leone to shoot another film. Simply because I was punctual. And well, I'll give myself credit, I was also good as an actor. So we used to have a saying and say, if you like, sleep your way. If you know good, you know good. They go just sleep with you, but they no go give you the role. So you as a person need to also come correct to the table. What are you offering? People always tell us that we keep on using the same faces, we keep on using the same faces. Do you know how we audition for new actors? We can't find them, guys. We can't. They're not training themselves to be better. So you are doing an audition and you are looking for someone, and then you have people that, they feel, I'm too handsome, so they are relying everything on their face. I can count 50 good female actors. I can't count 5 male. So if you're a guy, that's a vacuum that we have. We don't have leading men in Hollywood. It's a massive vacuum. Stand up, let me explain what leading men is. And you understand you are also not one. I'm not insulting anybody, guys. I'm just trying to make a point. Stand up. Don't be shy. I will explain. Come. It's not an insult. I'm not insulting him. So he's an actor. He's good. Do you think this guy can marry an Inyedo? Yeah, yes. Who said yes? So if I do a film and put this guy as husband to Inyedo, you will not say he's pedophile. Do you think this guy can be somebody's husband? If I want to cast him, what will I cast him for? I don't care what his real age is. He can be 50 in real life. But on screen, he can't translate. If I put him in a uniform now, I don't become primary school. No, guys, we're being realistic here. Do you understand? So that's what I mean by that. So it doesn't take anything out of you, because the good thing now is we're doing a lot of YA series. In fact, I have one that I'm casting for next week, so you can check on my page for that. It's a YA series. It's for people between 20 and 26. So a lot of series like Far From Home, Blood and Water, they're for people of this age grade. But you need to know when the things are happening. How do you know, guys? On social media. You can go. Thank you. A round of applause for him, please. Blood and Water, I don't know if any of you saw Blood and Water, the South African first original series. Everybody there, that was the first time they were acting. Far From Home, aside the mothers, the young people, none of them were stars. Genoveva broke out from Blood Sisters. But guys, is she good or not? You see? And the good thing, the advantage of a woman and a man, if a woman is tiny, if I wear her gele and wear her makeup and wear her costume, she will look old. But a guy, if I like, let me put you in agbada. Nothing can happen. Do you understand? So that's the disadvantage. That's why I said we don't have leading men. So I don't mean we don't have good actors. But we don't have a lot of actors to occupy that position. Hence, why we keep repeating, guys. We also don't like it. We are actively looking for. We don't even go to the look models. That's why if you notice for YouTube, a lot of them is just fine boys. Marissa was an actor, but he's a model, but he's an actor. But my point is, I can get away with it on TV, but I can't get away with it on the big screen. So the big screen, I have to use who will deliver. So if you have friends that are husband material and they love to act, kindly tell them to go and train themselves. Accelerate Filmmaker Project, they train for free. This year we trained 50 people for free. They are going to now shoot their short films. Follow the right people, guys. I'm going to wrap by saying follow the right people. There's no point following the sides if you are not getting it. Follow the right people on social media. Any film that you like, that you have called now, go and follow them on Instagram. I will throw James Omokwe name there because he does a lot for African Magic. So all through the year, you may have work. I will also throw Femi Ogunsowo there. He also posts his audition notice. Tolu, help me. Who else? African Magic. Femi Ogudemi. Obugbemi. Odugbemi. He also does that. He also have the multi-choice talent factory, guys. They train people for free. Guess for how long? 1 year. For free. They will accommodate you. They'll feed you. I think they give stipends too. For 1 year. Did you know about it? No. So these are the things that you should take serious and follow these guys. Multi-choice talent factory, they usually post when they are going on, so you can register for it. It's free, guys. For a whole year, you'll be in Lekki. You will go to all the African Magic sets and learn on the job. And at the end of the day, you will shoot a feature film, not a short film, guys, a feature film that would premiere at African Magic and be let me leave me. I'm in my Zen mood now. I'm coming. And would also be nominated for the AMVCAs because it's their products. So they have a category for that. So guys, multi-choice talent factory. Accelerate. They are done for this year, but they will come again next year. Follow them, guys. They also audition for a lot of things because they are building Accelerate Plus. They are not looking for faces. They just need people that can act. James Omokwe, I've mentioned that. Femi Ogunsowo, I've mentioned that. Uncle Femi, I've mentioned that. Lala Akindoju. She doesn't post it on her page. She has a production company called the Make It Happen Company. They have done casting for some of the biggest projects out of Nigeria. Take Rise. I don't know if any of you know of Rise. Rise was Nigerian's first film on HBO, guys. It's the story of a Nigerian immigrant that went to Greece, and he's the biggest, one of the biggest basketballers in the world. Him and his family. Rise. It's on HBO. You know. So these things, Lala casted for that. I don't know if you also saw a lot of foreign films. Lala actually cast for that. So follow the Make It Happen company. That's Lala's company. They cast. She doesn't post it on her page, so you won't see it. I'm also a casting director. You can follow me if you wish. I also post for other people. Follow cast.ng. Casting.ng. I think castingafrica.ng. They also post casting notice. Google, guys, is your friend. Find out what are these opportunities available to young filmmakers. They are more than enough. But you can't know because you're not following these right people. British Council is always doing things for young filmmakers. Always. Always. The French people, too, they're always doing things for filmmakers. Always. So, guys, please, today, after we finish this, get on your social media. Use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. Go to Google. Find out who are the top producers in Nigeria. Find out who are the top casting directors in Nigeria. If you want to be a cinematographer, find out who are the top cinematographers in Nigeria so that you can send them a message and say, please, I would like to intern on your set. If you don't have knowledge of on-set production, there's so much you can do because you don't even know what you need to do. So you need to intern with somebody shooting a YouTube film, intern with somebody shooting an African magic film, a TV film, intern with somebody shooting a skit, intern with somebody shooting a series, and intern with somebody shooting a film. That way, you've been able to put yourself in all the lines of whatever filmmaking can be. So when the opportunity presents itself, you are ready, guys. The people I'm saying are not ready. You know, so please do this, and only you will see the difference moving on. Follow the right people. Follow the right people. Create a tribe. Make teams with your tribe. Make teams with your tribe. Like Tolu said, grow sideways. Somebody will not come and give you 100 million naira when you've not done anything. Even your uncle will not give you. So do something. Make a film so you become a filmmaker. Thank you, guys.
Are you sure we're not going to reschedule another date sometime soon? Please, a standing ovation for our guest speaker. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because of time, we would we'll move you to the auntie, and then we'll see you over there too. So, can you help me take our things? Okay. Okay, let's quickly come on stage. Just come on stage. Take off your shoes. Take off your shoes. No, you can stay down now.